What's going on, everybody? We're going to be starting the Twitter space in just a second. We're letting our folks come in. We're going to be starting in just a second. BW, I believe you was speaking the other night. I don't know if that was the first time I heard you speaking. I believe you spoke before in the actual space before. What's going on, Nate? I believe I heard you speak one time before in the space before. I'm sure you probably may have spoke even a few times before that, but definitely was glad to have you up in there, Nate. What's going on? We're gonna be starting this Twitter space. What's going on, Tony? We're gonna have a very fascinating conversation tonight, y'all. So definitely for those that want to speak, y'all just go ahead and request the mic, and we will definitely let you come up and speak. How you doing, BW? Go ahead. You can unmute your mic, BW.
Okay, I have spoken on this space before, but I did speak the other night because I don't get on everybody's spaces because a lot of people just like gossiping. I want to see how we gonna get this reparation. That's all I care about. All this other stuff is irrelevant.
Yeah, we try to with Newstoter being an actual news platform, curation platform, we try to go ahead and just cover the topics and subject matters and things that may be of interest to our people, and see if we can go ahead and put our heads together and figure out strategies as well too. So that's what we really try to use these Twitter spaces for. Just I believe a Twitter space should be informational, informative, educational. Nothing wrong with it being having entertainment value as well too. So motivational. Those are the things we're trying to do in the Twitter spaces. We're trying to, pass the content, pass information to our people and stuff like that. Like last night, the kid, the white kid that was 18 years old that allegedly killed three black men and stuff like that, and still walking around the street. It had a free bond and everything else, just had the GPS monitor on his leg. Those are type of stories that, we try to go ahead and push and put out there as well too, because quite a few people yesterday said, man, I didn't even know that had happened. I was like, yeah. So we definitely want to go ahead and try to keep this, and climate change, this climate reparation thing has been in the media cycle for the past couple weeks, going hard and stuff like that. So I felt this was definitely a good topic to go ahead and cover. Definitely want to go ahead and address this tonight. A lot of times I like to go ahead and have a few topics to talk about, but we'll stick on this one topic tonight, and if anything else comes up and the room wants to, we can always cover different things as well too. So I like to try to go ahead and have more than one topic. I like to do actual news, a news rundown at times, but sometimes we just get on one topic, and that's cool, that's fine as well too. But I like to try to cover as many topics as possible that's concerning the black community.
Right? Yeah, I heard about that climate reparations. I heard about it too as well. It's like I'm sort of getting so fed up. I just think, fight. I mean, I shouldn't have said this. He needs to go. He needs to go. I was told, I don't know how true that is. This lady had came on one of the spaces, and she was saying that Biden already said that we can get reparations. We just gotta present the paperwork. I'm not trying to change the topic, uh, but he wanted to give it to the Indies. Want the Indies to get it as well.
Yes, ma'am. He said that. He was saying that, and he's basically that's his way around saying, I don't support it. But he was trying to throw the Native Americans up there too. He said, well, I'll support I'll support reparations of Native Americans, if they're added to it. And this is the kind of thing that a lot of black people get upset about, because whenever you sign in paperwork for Native Americans or whoever, you're not adding black people to anything. So the simple fact that you really don't want to do it, but then you're trying to be cute about it, you're trying to go a nice little way around and talking about you'll do this, you'll do that. When in actuality, you don't want to do anything. And you just put Native Americans out there because people gonna say, oh well, we're not gonna give Native Americans and black people reparations. So that's just a nice way of just adding to the fray and whatnot. He has no intention of giving black people reparations and stuff like that, unless, you know what I'm saying, we start punishing these people at the polls. That's the only thing that we can do, I think, as a people. Start punishing these people at the polls. Shout out to my man Original, also up in the spot too. Original, we gonna start it up. We just letting a few more people start to filter in, because I definitely want to cover this. And I know Original, I know you got some fire that you want to add to this conversation tonight as well too. So definitely looking forward to hearing our people come in here. Nate, Tony, I know you just like to chill. I know you're not gonna really get on the mic, but you do entertain me with the comments that you have in the comment section as well too. So I always try to. I can't always get to them when the actual conversation going, but it's always good to have you active in the comment section and stuff like that too. So I try to get to the comment section and respond to your comments when I can, because they're definitely informative and entertaining as well too, and funny. So I definitely like having you leaving the comments and stuff like that. Sometimes when the space is going, I see it and go ahead and respond to it. So everybody that's in the space, if y'all could go ahead and tweet the space out. We're gonna let a few more of our people get in here, and we're gonna start going in about this climate thing too. I see Shism just stepped up in the spot as well too. So yeah, man. A lot of people talk about, oh, Biden is a lunatic for going with this, because you got all of these Western nations and stuff sitting up here because they're big fossil fuel burners, and they've helped to actually destroy a lot of these environments and these countries and stuff like that. And I'm not against you if you want to go ahead and give reparations, to these people. Hey, fine. But first and foremost, you owe reparations to the people right over here. So before you can go ahead and make that move, you need to go ahead and cut that check over this way. DJ, what's going on, man? Can you hear me? You sound low. I can hear you, but you sound super low. Okay. Yeah, that's super low. Normally he come in loud and clear, but on that one he was pretty low. So I'm sure he gonna go ahead and come out the space and then come back in, because that was really low.
So I want to ask a question. How come we just can't get a lawyer to sue the government? How we just can't go forward? I'm trying to figure out how we can get our money. I'm tired of talking about it. So how come we just can't get lawyers down with the call to get this paper?
From what I heard, and I'm not sure, but I believe Judge Joe Brown says that you can't sue the federal government. So I have to check on that, but I believe he says you can't actually sue the federal government. I could be wrong, but I believe I heard him say that in one of our Twitter spaces where we had hosting him, that he was saying that you can't sue the federal government. The state government, I don't know about, but the federal government, we need to go ahead and get some of our lawyer people up in here and stuff so they can go ahead and give us the heads up on that, because he did say some suggestions, sister, and it's been a while. I would have to get back in him. I forgot what he told us, DJ. I forgot what Judge Joe Brown said the best way was going about getting reparations. Now he believes that it's an uphill battle too. Now he believes that we deserve it, but he believes that it's going to be an uphill battle. But he did say, sister, I cannot remember exactly, but he did say it was a course of action he thought was the best way to go about actually getting it. But he did believe that it was an uphill battle, but he believes that we definitely deserve it. But that it's going to be a hard fight. As long as I think we're going the right way. As long as we keep pushing for it, and we start having younger and newer generations that also push for it. Because for a long time, reparations, people, they didn't speak about it. They talked about it here and there, but it was never at the front and center as it is right now. Right now it's global, like from the US to all around the world, people using that reparations and stuff like that. And it really got the fuel burning over here first and foremost. Like, as Black Americans start pushing reparations in the past 10 years or so, 7-8 years, is when it's really starting to catch on, and that everybody now is sitting up here talking about it. DJ, how your audio is now? I hear you, but you still like real low. I don't know. Let me ask, like, BW, how is my reception? Can you guys hear me loud and clear in here in the space? No, I ain't got no headpiece in. Nah. Nah, I'll never put the headpiece in when I'm on the Twitter spaces.
If I load everybody else, I get some emojis. Going once, going twice. Going once, going twice. I don't know.
Shism, maybe it's just my phone. Shism, I think they say you're 100%. So maybe it's just me. Nate said he's giving a thumb up, and everybody's saying so. Maybe it's something with my phone. I don't know. Like I like BW's kind of low too, but you seem like even lower to her. So like I said, I don't know. You know,
Volume up on your phone. Is your volume up on your phone?
yeah, my volume should be completely up.
Oh, my phone low.
Your phone is good now.
Yeah, now we just trouble.
Okay, now I hear y'all 100% now.
All right.
Okay, so now I hear y'all a lot better now. So maybe it was something with my phone or something. I don't know.
All right. All good, all good. Let's get on with the show, brother. You already know.
Yes, sir. We'll go ahead and we'll inform everybody as they come in, but I want to go ahead and touch up on this so we can go ahead and start jumping into this conversation real quick. So as people come in, DJ, when they come in, if I'm reading, I'm just touch up on this article from the New York Post. If they come in and you see that anybody requests to speak, then go ahead and go ahead and let them speak or whatever. But real quick, this is from the New York Post. It says Biden's lunatic bid to pay poor nations for climate reparations. This was published by New York Post, I think maybe a week or so ago, curator Newstoter.com platform. It says in a pathetic bid to show results from the latest global climate change, the Biden administration followed Western Europe's hysterical lead by signing on to a lunatic climate reparations scheme. It's beyond outrageous. It won't even bring any progress in reducing global carbon emissions, the supposed goal of the COP27 meetings. If it works as promised, it's just another wealth transfer from wealthy nations to the largely corrupt governing class of poor countries. The just ended climate talks in Egypt brought in a few new commitments to reduce emissions. Too much of the developed world is racing to find new sources of gas, oil, and even coal in the energy crisis triggered by Russia's war on Ukraine. So instead, the We Need Some Progress crew opted for vows from wealthier countries, supposedly the biggest climate change offenders, to fork over funds to poor ones claiming to have suffered losses and damages from climate triggered natural disasters. The United States had resisted the deal but caved in after the European Union signed on. World leaders hope to finalize a fine print, i.e., who pays what to whom and how, over the next year, but America will surely be squeezed for the biggest sums of all. Meanwhile, China, which spews more CO2 than the United States and Europe put together, is exempt because the UN climate change rules consider it a developing nation. No matter that Western nations already ship billions to the poor ones in the form of general economic aid to promote climate measures, nor are the most of the third world climate caused disasters clearly that. It's just a global media fully on board with the hysteria refuse to check the favorite narrative. Nor will average citizens of countries that get funds likely ever see a cent of the new aid themselves. The narrative demands ignoring how the leaders have behaved. These countries count as victims, so no questions could be asked. Americans have suffered enough thanks to the green agenda nonsense at home. Limiting fossil fuel production despite a lack of viable alternatives has energy prices skyrocketing while most green sub- sub- subsidies amount to nothing more than corporate welfare. Republicans who narrowly control the House need to block any U.S. money from being shipped out to fund climate reparations. Biden and company will likely offer U.S. dollars anywhere via the World Bank and other international entities that U.S. taxpayers already help and support. But that's just another reason to vote out the president and Democrats like him in 2024. What I find funny about the article, and I agree about, um, I do know this is pretty much another scheme and this and that. One thing that can't be refuted, like I say, first and foremost, you owe money over here. You ruin the people over here in this country, namely black people, and you have crapped on the actual economy over here. If we're talking about environmental racism and structural this and that and damage, then you can look no further to these black communities and things like that. And I believe I posted an article right before the actual Twitter space started. I didn't get a chance to really read it, but I know it was something about Jackson and the DOJ, and they're still having issues in Jackson. When you think about Jackson, you think about Flint, you think about all these other cities and stuff, and just all of the nonsense that's going along right here in the United States of America. America and the West, they owe money because they have been toxic dumpers and stuff like that. They have messed up the actual countries, the actual environment in a lot of these countries, the drinking water and everything else, oil spills and all that kind of stuff. So I certainly don't have a problem with them kicking out some money to a lot of these third world countries. The funny thing is that China somehow is, they're not going to have to pay anything. And China is one of the biggest toxic dumpers and one of the worst environmentalist countries there in the world. But I don't have a problem with you going ahead and kicking that money out to these foreign nations. I do have a problem, though, if you're going to kick the money out to the foreign nations and you haven't settled your debts right here in America first and foremost. So before you can go ahead and start in these countries that you have gone ahead and you control the oil and the minerals and the resources, and you could give a damn about how the people living over there because you don't have to live there. First and foremost, man, you need to go ahead and kick that money over to us first. You go ahead and you take $20 trillion and you set it aside for the Black Americans. And then you go ahead and you start fixing up these economies and stuff like that, or fixing up these places where you just went ahead and just ran them down. So once you go ahead and you do that, I don't have an issue with you going ahead because, like I said, the oceans are jacked up. You got landfills and everything else. You got radioactive fields and all this kind of stuff that these major European nations, and I included the United States in that too, all of them have messed up where these people live at and stuff like that. So if you want to go ahead and you want to go ahead and together, I guess you're going to have all the European nations join together so they can go ahead and limit the actual money that they have to kick out. I feel that's a good thing, but all those European nations too should go ahead and get together and start kicking back some of these reparations and stuff before they go ahead and kick out the regular reparations. And then when you want to start doing the climate reparations, when you want to start paying the countries in Africa and you want to South America and Australia or the Middle East or the parts of the Pacific or whatever, you want to go ahead and do that in the Caribbean, fine. I don't have a problem with that. I think that makes perfect sense. But first and foremost, the debt that is owed before we even start having fossil fuels and start burning them, that debt is owed to the people right here in this country first and foremost. So before you start going ahead and you start talking about radioactive fields and fossil fuels burning and oil spills and how you got contamination here and this and that, before all the technology came to that point, go ahead and make sure the Black Americans in the United States of America get their money first and foremost. Go ahead and give us our $20-30 trillion or however much you owe. And I know some people say that number is way more, but $20 trillion, I don't have a problem with them going ahead kicking that back to the actual descendants of slaves in this country, as long as with those $20 trillion come land and other things as well too. I want the land and the money as well too, because they're not building any more land on earth. So and I don't want some dump either. I don't want to be out in some swamp, and I don't want some landfill or whatever. I want some real property. BW, you got it. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
I want to know, why the United States feel obligated to repair other countries. I don't understand that, because they always met within somebody else's business, but they put all their energy in other countries instead of putting the energy here in the United States. I just don't understand that. They just focus on us, let these other governments fix their own country. We have nothing to do with what's going on over there.
You make an interesting point. I'm sorry, who got it? DJ, that's you?
Yeah, I was just going to say you're right about that, BW. But the problem is, though, America has title right. America has been meddling in other people's, other countries' affairs, their land. We look perfect example. We could take Hawaii, for example, right? Where they just recently had a king and a queen, like way back, only back into like 1920 something, 1930, when America went down there and invaded them. You know what I'm saying? And then the other thing is too, maybe Brother Ray can speak on this, being in the military type stuff, we unfortunately Black folks, I believe, got a hand in a lot of this shit too, because we've been on the side of the United States, either doing one or two things, invading some of these countries or helping to save some of these countries from their own tyrannical people. You know what I mean? But if you pay attention to what's going on in North Korea, Kim Jong Un getting ready to fuck us up, yo. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? He not playing. The North Koreans, they gonna hit South Korea first, in my opinion, because that's where the beef is really at. You know what I'm saying? And then they gonna come for us. You know what I mean? Next with them long range missiles that Kim Jong Un is constantly testing on a regular, and the UN ain't saying nothing about it. Ain't nobody saying nothing about it that this man is gonna do that. But hey, look at all the years that the United States don't been in parts of Africa fucking it up and just about anywhere, these Western nations. So if you pay attention to now, take it over to Africa, the motherland, a lot of these, foreign cousins over there, you know what I mean? They fighting back against the Western powers. No, we don't want you over here. We don't want to deal with the white man. No, we're not doing business with you or whatever the case be. Don't tell us that we could do business with Russia because they beefing with Ukraine. We don't have to denounce Russia because they bombing Ukraine. That's not our problem. So now you got a whole lot of these EU people mad at the African nations. So, be prepared for a fight, because it ain't going to end well, because at the end of the day, the United States owe everybody. They owe everybody, but they owe us first, though. But go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick it to original, but what you saying is true, man. And also, like I said, it's just not the United States either. You got all of the Western nations. It seems like the United States for a second was resisting even going along with this, and then as the European Union went ahead and signed off on it, because a lot of people are upset with Great Britain and France and the colonial powers from Western Europe. So they want them to pay up, the United States to pay up as well too. So like I said, it's going to be actually interesting, because it's a reason why when growing up, they always would talk about the ozone layer. The ozone layer was almost gone and this and that. And that's because with the amount of fossil fuels and all the carbon and everything, all these industries and just the pollution and all the stuff that we have in the world, basically is a result. And I know it's technology, but with technology also comes problems and issues as well too. Like I say, I don't have a particular issue with it, because I've seen some of the actual on YouTube and stuff. I've seen some of the actual oil feel like the actual waters and stuff over there in Africa. Where it's just, and unfortunately you got people in there still bathing and this is just oil runoff and everything else. So I don't have an issue with that, because I know that they've gone to these places and they've jacked them up for profit. And here's another thing too. This is the whole scheme behind it. They're talking about giving reparations. Whenever you saw having the colonial powers of Europe sitting at a table, sitting up here talking about they're going to do something, you better believe it's something in return for them. So whatever they're talking about giving is just going to be pennies on the dollar anyway. So they may take a couple $1 billion and give it to this country and a billion there, but it's going to be nowhere near the actual damage that they put into these actual countries and stuff like that too. They've caused trillions of dollars worth of damage to the ecosystem in a lot of places around the world. Not no billions, but trillions. They can sit up here and try to minimize it as much as they want. But like I said, the United States don't need to go anywhere, because right here, and we did spaces on it, right here in Jackson, they need $2 billion, I believe, to go ahead and fix the water crisis down there in the state of Mississippi. So before the United States cuts another check and sends it overseas, then man, you need to go ahead and take care of what's here at home. You got a crumbling infrastructure right here in this country. Not to mention you have all kind of climate damage and environmental hazardous places right here in the United States of America. So before you go ahead and fix abroad, go ahead and fix at home. But the reason you want to fix abroad, because it must be some kind of hustle coming along with it. It's got to be another opportunity that these people see together. They're not just going to go ahead and cough this money up for their health. They're already bitching and crying about it. So it's something that they got going along and behind closed doors. And I'm sure as always, the United States is going to be involved in it. So just watch this and check this developing story as it keep happening, because, something just don't smell right about it. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic, brother. Oh, yeah. You coming in definitely muffled, like it's like staticky, real staticky. Yeah, go.
Let me move mine. Try to. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's still that staticky noise.
Yeah, these Twitter spaces has really been acting up a lot lately. Hopefully, we'll have our spaces over on social real soon, y'all. Just keep stay patient, as they say, I guess.
Yeah, man, definitely. I don't know what's been going on with the Twitter Spaces the past few months, but yeah, either people can't they lose connection, or they can't hear people, they can't see things on the phone. So it's just been amateur hour with these Twitter Spaces. That's definitely so. But just getting back to the climate reparations, France. I'm trying to remember. Go ahead, BW. Go ahead. I see you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say, do you notice that any type of issue that's going on here in the United States, it's always black people fighting and stuff. I don't never hear any white people or anybody else complain about anything. Like the governor Biden sending money over to Ukrainians and other places. I never hear white people complaining about it. It just be us. So why are we the ones that's always fighting?
I guess it's just part of our nature, sister. We've been fighting for every scrap since we got over in this country. So we're gonna continue to put the fight up. Basically, it's just if we don't fight, nobody else will. You'll hear Republicans and stuff that are actually chime in on certain things when they think that it's gonna rev up their political base. When it comes to certain dollars and things and incentives being set aside or whatever, sometimes you'll hear them say something. Now, I haven't heard any Republicans say anything against all the money they've been giving Ukraine. Like I don't hear, I don't hear any of the major Republicans say, we've given Ukraine already $20 billion. I don't think we need to give them anymore. We need to go ahead and worry about fixing things here in the country or whatever. So I don't know, certain things we just seem to fight more than anybody else. I mean, we go ahead and we try harder, I guess, when it comes to certain things. I don't know why, but maybe because we're just used to not having anything. So I mean, I think that's just pretty much what it is, that we just so used to not having anything, and just we just have to keep fighting. It's just in our nature because we've been the constant underdog since we've been in this country.
And I'll just say this: don't forget, sis, that the reason why a lot of these white folks ain't gonna say nothing because that's really their heritage and lineage that Biden is giving money to. So supposedly, Dr. Jill Biden, aka the First Lady, is a Ukrainian woman. So add it up right there.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? That she's a Ukrainian woman. DJ, what nations you think more than others? Because then they had the actual meeting that was in actual Egypt. So Egypt, I guess Egypt been in Africa, and then also let's not forget Egypt's always been a darling of white people. Like white people have always, even though Egypt is up in Africa, they've always associated with being European or being Middle Eastern or whatever. So I could definitely see Egypt as being one of the darlings of the Middle East or whatever. Now they're not going to do the same thing for Ethiopia, but Egypt, they want to go ahead and keep that historical culture and everything as white and Asiatic and everything else as possible. So I could definitely see Egypt being one of the darlings, one of the ones that they're going to go ahead and try to pump a little bit of money into.
Yeah, for sure on that one. And you already know how Egypt is. That's supposed to be the land of all things assistance and all this other stuff. Even though you really need to go right down the street to Kush, aka Ethiopia, the birth of civilization. You know what I mean? So those folks that don't know, feel me? But at the end of the day, these folks ain't gonna never play fair. We really on our own out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we might have an ally here and there, but they can't really do shit. And then, like Sis said, where are our lawyers at? So that's something we always talk about. We're gonna have to start grooming our young people that want to be lawyers to be the, not to say you gotta be a Thurgood Marshall or Johnny Cochran, but damn, where are Thurgoods and Johnny Cochrans at? You know what I'm saying? We don't have any. The NAACP never really was our organization. You got the Black Caucus, they fighting for everybody else. If you go on Ayanna Presley, Representative Ayanna Presley, and I'll try to post it to the Jumbotron. If you go on her Twitter page, all she talk about is helping immigrants and LGBTQ. I don't get it. You're supposed to be black first. Same thing with Maxine Waters. Talk about helping all these folks, and I know some folks over here from California may stick up for Auntie Maxine because she might have done some things through the years, but I could name some black politicians and representatives out here that's been getting busy for years too, but eventually somewhere down the line, they fall off and stop advocating for black people. So it's like, what the hell's going on, man? What the hell's going on? And then, the UN already put out a resolution that black people are in dire straits. So why hasn't the United States acted on anything? And it's really on us at the end of the day. I'm trying to tell you, sis, I'm pretty sure if you go outside and you talk to other folks about reparations, all you do is get pushed back specifically from our people. I just had a space on, what was that? What was that, Friday, Saturday? My last space or whatever. And one of my people's cousins, my cousin's peoples come up in the space, and I noticed, sister, when we had these type of verses all the time, where we, if we should or shouldn't get reparations from for whatever the reason. So you already know my stance, sis. So it's like, why come up here and be a detractor? You know what I'm saying? And so, at the end of the day, it's really our own people that's holding us back from obtaining reparations, yo. It's us. Ain't nobody else, man. Real talk on that. But go ahead, Tommy, wherever you want to go.
Oh yeah, original back up in the space. So I want to go ahead and let original, and then we'll let BW get a chance to say something.
All right, can everybody hear me now?
Okay, yeah, coming through clear there.
Okay. Well, first, what I want to say is this: when DJ mentioned Hawaii, he's right. Hawaii was a sovereign country, and see, one of the things that assisted Hawaii in its downfall is, as I said before, when the degenerate white Christians came to Hawaii, they wanted King Kamehameha to switch from their indigenous, spiritual system to their degeneracy, and they kept pressuring him to convert, and he wouldn't do it. He knew that it would corrupt his people, and so what happened is, the last time they asked him to convert, they kept telling him how powerful their God was and what their God could do for him and his people and this, that, and whatever. So King Kamehameha, being the smart black man that he was, he asked them, he said, listen, I need you to jump off this cliff and let me see if your God saved you. Well, not one Christian jumped off that cliff. Because see, they knew had they jumped off the cliff, they would have been exposed as being false and liars. So they didn't jump off. And see, the people that came behind King Kamehameha, they took on that religion. Like when America had invaded Hawaii, they locked Queen Kalani in the royal palace, and she was in there with her Bible, praying that she just knew that they would not, take her country. I mean, that's how they get you. They get you to buy into their belief system, and then they do things to you. But if you retaliate against them, they say, "Oh, wait a minute now. That's not the Christian way." Well, what they do is not the Christian way, and so I just wanted to share that because that's how these people have gone around the world, and they would go in, pillaging and killing initially, and then they would people to convert to their degeneracy, and then they would just wipe them out and go. That's what they would do. But yeah, I do believe though that this giving money, giving reparation to the so-called developing countries, and I'm trying to figure out how in the hell is China considered to be a developing country. You have all this manufacturing and other things over there in China, and and they are projected to the world as being these smart people. I know they're not smart. They're no smarter than anyone else. But I'm trying to see. I think the reason they consider China to be a developing country because China is the worst polluter, and China has the majority of the manufacturing around the world. Because you see what's going on with the iPhone right now. The people are protesting under the working conditions, and and they want to live a more they want to go back to the way things were before COVID. I just put it that way. But yeah, and I do believe that the reason they're offering these countries reparations. This is another way of divide and conquer when it comes to Black Americans versus other Black folks around the world. See, if they give them money, and we're like, well, wait a minute, what about us? And because if you look at it now, Big Swole, she was in an interview, and she was asked about reparations, and then again, she threw in the so-called Native American, and she said Native American, African American deserve reparation, but this has nothing to do with any other group but us. That is the Democratic go-to at this point in time. They do not want to deal directly with us because they know we're going to push this through regardless. And that's one of the things that I've been telling Raphael and other people who send me text messages asking me to vote for this boy. And I'm like, I said, he ain't talking reparations, but he's talking giving all these illegal aliens everything that they need, but he's not talking to us. So if you can't deal with U.S. descendants of chattel slavery, then you don't get a vote from me. And see, I don't know who's going to win because technically Georgia, as I stated before, Georgia is still a red state. Once you get outside of Atlanta, these crackers let you know who they are. And what they let you know inside of Atlanta. Because don't be fooled that Atlanta doesn't have racism and this, that, and whatever, because you got the racist folks inside of Atlanta too. So I just want to say that because I think we do have to begin to push. We do have to organize more and begin to push harder because it is going to be a fight. But I think that if we do it strategically, I think we can get this within the next 2 years if it's done strategically. And we're going to have to do something. When we talked about Agent Umar Johnson, yeah, I'm gonna call him an agent. If we gotta deal with those agent tethers because they angry because it doesn't include them. Well, do your own thing, you know. So yeah, I'll land with that, but I just want to throw that in there because there are more dynamics to this than what we know, and I'll land on that.
Great point. I'm gonna kick it to you, BW. I just want to say something too. Like I do wonder about the mindset of Black Americans that if you start going ahead and you start actually giving reparations to nations around the world, and the United States is one of the biggest contributors of these actual reparation monies being sent and distributed all throughout these different nations and countries and regions and stuff like that. Because, and then that's not to say that, like I said before, I don't have an issue with these nations getting climate reparations because these countries did go over there and jack up their actual environment. At the same token, their actual puppet presidents and stuff like that went along with a lot of this stuff as well too. So we have to kind of remember that as well too. Like, I mean, a lot of these people, they got these flunkies in their back pocket and they gave them X amount of dollars and whatever, and they just went ahead and let the Western nations, including the U.S., just go over there and just reap hell for profit and stuff like that. So a lot of these flunky presidents and stuff like that in these third world countries and stuff, they bear a lot of the actual blame as well too. But with that said, I wonder about the actual mindset of Black Americans. If you start seeing money get distributed and it's called reparations, and you're giving it to so many different nations and countries throughout the world, well, how do Black people in this country go ahead and just process that information, saying, you know what, we fighting like hell over here to get stuff for our people as well too. Anything that you can go ahead and give to these people throughout the world, you could have first given it to us, because we know about the fight for reparations, and we also know about the actual environmental racism that we're facing here and stuff, and we know about how our neighborhoods and stuff like that, are some of the worst neighborhoods when you're talking about climate control and climate change, of environmental and structural racism and all this other stuff right here too. Like, we deal with it before you even go in the world with it. So we want to go ahead. I just want to know how Black Americans as a whole, how are they going to respond if they start seeing the United States? Because you got a lot of politicians that's not in this country that's not keen on that. I hear a lot of Republicans saying that, hey, this is another scam or whatever, another scheme. We're not cool with it, this and that or whatever. But I wonder how Black Americans, and I definitely wonder how a lot of Black Americans who vote Democrat, a lot of Black Americans who try their best to kind of skate around the actual reparation discussion. They don't want to talk about it because they feel like it's a losing argument for actual their party, and they feel like it's a distraction and that it's going to piss white people off and whatnot. So they don't want to talk about it. They want to avoid it at all costs. They don't think that you can win. To them, it's radioactive, like defund the police to a certain degree. Yeah, you hear Black people say this, like, yeah, we'll talk about it. Even a politician, you hear like, yeah, we'll talk about it, and they keep walking away and this and that. So I wonder the actual psyche of what's going to happen to Black Americans in this country if you start seeing parts of Africa, parts of the Caribbean, parts of Asia, starting to get actual, reparations, starting to get billions of dollars pouring into the actual nation. That you're gonna have all these European countries together actually to mitigate the loss, coming together and throwing something in a little bucket and kicking it out or whatever. And like I said, it's just going to be peanuts anyways, because for all the trillions of dollars they've stolen from these areas and exploited, they're never going to be able to pay back, and all of the damage that they've done to the actual ecosystem throughout the world, let alone these actual places. The little bit of money they're going to give ain't going to do much, and the money they do give is going to be in the pocket of their flunkies, their little dictators that they got put in place. But I just wonder, for our people right here in this country that's pushing and fighting so hard for reparations, what is that going to do to your mindset when you go ahead and you see that perhaps 40, $50 billion have been sent out all throughout the world in 2024 or whatever, whenever they talk about doing it, 2023, 2024, or whatever, and yet you're sitting up here trying to get your actual money and stuff like that. How are you going to respond as a people? What are you going to do? And I want to know exactly what the Black Democratic Party going to say about it, because right now their president is the one that's going along with it. At first they was against it, but now Biden is sitting up here saying, well, the United States is going to be as well too. So if your president could take part in actual climate reparations, and that's going to help people throughout the world, but yet when you sit up here and as Black people, you say, well, we need reparations. He said, well, only way I'm going to do reparations for you is if I give it to Native Americans. What are Black people going to say about this? Who's that? You original?
Yeah, definitely. Let me say this. I don't know if you saw this interview where he looks like he might be mixed or something. So I don't know what his background is. I'm gonna see if I can find out. But this soccer player where America just beat Iran in this soccer match. So one Iranian reporter, he asked the black guy, I don't know how black he is, but he asked him about how could he play for a country and about how we are treated over here. And he gave some snide answer about, well, we're working towards making things better. I mean, it's bull crap. I do believe that a lot of people will respond kind of that way. They, they may respond by saying, well, at least somebody is getting something. They're gonna come up with some some no good response trying to justify it. And I want to say this right here. If this happens, you are not going to find anyone from Africa, anyone from the Caribbean, saying any. They're going to take the money and they're going to ignore us. See, everybody want to attach them. Everybody want to they want to acknowledge us or pretend like they are a part of us when there's a bag in it. But if they get their own, just like they have CARICOM and we have lineage-based reparations here, we're not included with CARICOM. So it's going to show these people true nature. But I think with Sister No Taxation, I think it may drive more people to come to DC and say, look, this is how it's going to be. If you all are not going to have, if you're going to go around the world taking care of other people, and the UN has already stated that, we deserve reparations. We are warranted that. But you're going to go around the world and start taking care of other people before you take care of home first. This is going to get very sticky. I can guarantee you that. And it's not. And see, the other issue is this: so you have people from the diaspora. They want to call us xenophobic and all these other terms, saying that we are rude. But at the same time, and none of them are calling out the ones that are saying pejorative things about us. Everything is thrown toward us, and then you have these jacked up in the head Pan Africanists. They act like the blacks in the diaspora are not doing anything. So we have a two-pronged fight on our hands. We got to fight the crazy black folks here who are against us. Then we got to fight the crazy black folks around the world who are against us. So we are. I think we're doing great with how we're handling things now. But you got to look at these other countries. They don't see us They don't see us as being connected to them unless there's something in it for them. And that has to be said and it has to be acknowledged. Because I'm not going right here. I'm not going to go and fight for someone who only look at me if there's a bag in it for them. And I'll land with that.
Appreciate that, brother. Let me go ahead and get back to you, BW. Go ahead. You got your hand up.
I want to, from what WPI was talking about, a lawyer, we definitely need some down lawyers. Because I know Tariq is holding a FBA Expo, right? I had brought that to his attention. I asked him, was you going to have anything to encourage the younger people to go to school for doctors and lawyers because we need them? He said that's what their plan was, to have, get with the younger people to encourage them, because we need that badly. So, because we don't have any down lawyers now, at least I haven't heard of them, unless somebody else knows. I think if we get some type of lawyer who can maybe just guide us in the right direction, because I think we need that. We do a lot of talking, just like that. What's that lady is that was at the reparation Tesla, right? She said she has connection with Bernie Sanders. Okay. Seemed like she would know something to help us get our reparation if she got that connection with people in the political arena. So it just bothers my soul when we get a lot of people that's in these high positions and they sell us out. I don't even know how they can sleep with themselves to sell their own people out. And, and also when WPI was talking about that reparations with our people, you're exactly right, because I've been pushing the reparation where I'm at, handing out flyers. A lot of these people out there don't even know what reparation is. And I was just dumbfounded. I couldn't believe it.
They don't, sis. Ask these people what's the definition of reparations. I'm going to send you my last space I had, and you listen to it and hear the back and forth spat I had with the system about reparations versus like doing black business. So, okay, it don't matter if we get reparations tomorrow. Newsweek reporting 151 million per descendant of slave. Okay, yeah, give me the check, but I still got to go to the studio. I still got to go and sell these CDs. I still got to go do interviews at the radio stations. I still got to go record the artists. It's not like my life will be easier. If anything, I'm gonna take on more work because I got money to go invest and do what I got to do without having to ask nobody shit. And as far as the lawyers go, I don't know about that. I think that's a lost cause. I think these folks tell even our Black American lawyers that go to law school, they're the same thing they tell these immigrant tellers that come over here. Don't do anything for civil rights. Don't fuck with these black people on the ground. Matter of fact, I'm not sure. Did you see that little video clip of some ancestors, elders that was over in California back in the 60s, saying they ain't want Uncle Junebug from Virginia and Mississippi to come to California because of what was going on with the civil rights movement in the 60s. So, like Original said, we're going to have to deal with the Cone Omar Johnsons and all these cones and still fight the white supremacy system. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we like Dr. Claus said, we fighting a war all fronts and we spread that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought my lawyer would just help us get some directions, because we need it. When I had my family reunion, I had made flyers and passed them out to them, but they was joking like the typical black person. Yeah, I want my reparation, but nobody, really had no thought process, no nothing. So it's like I had to explain to some of them, but they wasn't even motivated. They just thought it wasn't serious. And also talked to some of them, they're white people, ain't gonna give no reparation. It's like our people don't even have. And I approached the young lady store, gave them.
Hey, your phone breaking up, sis.
I heard that.
Hey, sis, your phone breaking up.
Oh, okay.
Your phone breaking up. Go back like 10 seconds. When you say you try to tell them and they just start laughing. Oh, I want my reparations.
Right. They didn't take this stuff seriously. I even passed out flyers. I had passed them all. I haven't passed out anymore. And people say, I never heard of it. I'm like, wait a minute. Old as I am, I'm on Twitter. I know stuff. What the heck y'all be on? You know, I heard of Twitter before. I mean, I've heard of reparations before, but I didn't know people was actually pushing. And to me, if younger people is on social media, how come they don't know anything about Twitter? I mean, you know, reparations. I don't understand that. So I get a lot of pushback from, like you said, our people who think you can't get it. So they just don't fight for it.
Right. Hey, I just want to say, get in the Jumbotron right there, sis. And on the top left bubble, we having our reparations rally on Father's Day weekend, aka Juneteenth. So, be there, be square,
Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic. You got it.
Yeah, peace to the room. Good to see you, brothers. Ray, DJ, Newstoter, Sister BW. That's a very good point about the lawyers, because I've been wondering about that. That very thing myself. Who can we turn to, as far as legal advice? Because we do need some, I think. But let's be honest, with Johnny Cochran being gone, what attorney can you turn to out here now? To be honest with you, I think maybe the young brother, I think he's out of North Carolina. They used to be with Khalid Muhammad. I think it's attorney Malik Shabazz. Now he's pretty. Yeah, I think he's pretty good. He's young and fiery, but I'll be honest with you, since Johnny Cochran passed away, I've been thinking about that, man. Who can we turn to now? Because we know Johnny Cochran is all about his business, and he was all about trying to get these reparations. He was all about that, and I miss that brother, man, because now it's like he started it, but like where is it at now? It's in limbo. So that's a very good question, and a very good issue right there that you just brought up, Sister BW.
See, Shepard's up in the space. Shepard, what's going on? Unmute your mic. Peace.
Lawyers cost money. Giving candidates for office $250,000, other donations $1 million here, $500,000 here for movies. That's lawyer money right there. I mean, you can get a lawyer, you gotta pay for. I mean, I ain't never met a lawyer. I mean, I talked to my lawyer on the phone. Yo, he sends me an invoice. We just had a 15-minute conversation. Like, oh, okay, that's $75 or some shit. 15 minutes conversation. I just call him to ask him something simple about a document. I get an invoice. So that just tells you where lawyers' heads is at. Not working for no shit for free. I mean, where can we get free lawyers is basically what you kind of asking. All these brothers was trying to do this per bono. You know what I'm saying? No, we in 2022 now. These motherfuckers pushing Rolls Royces and Porsche trucks. They ain't not nobody back in the past is civil rights trying to do shit for free. Capitalists now, and even the reparations claim, if you think about it, it's a capitalistic claim. You asking for money that's deserved from a capitalist society so that we can be.
It's not a capitalist thing. It's a debt that's owed. I'm not trying to.
Let me cook though. Let me cook, and then you could disagree after I finish cooking.
But hold on,
Let me cook though, because I can't.
No, man, no. I was saying let you cook. You just said some uneducated stuff right there. Reparations is a debt that's owed. Let's get that through our mind. This is why Sister BW is asking what she's asking, bro. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of our people don't know the definition of reparations. They don't, Shepard. You know what I'm saying? And see, you dropping out, you're mad, don't want to hear it. Nah, get out of here with that, because I'm sick of arguing with people about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's be logical. The average person don't know the definition of reparations. It's a debt that's owed. So how can it be a capitalistic claim, bro? You crazy, son? You don't go to your boss and say, hey, look, you owe me money and you a capitalist, so you got to pay me. No, you already did the work. So that's a debt that's owed. Whatever the contract or whatever it was that they guaranteed you, that's what you are owed. So you don't go to your boss like, oh, man, I need my money and shit, but I know you ain't going to give it to me because you a capitalist.
DJ, I tell you, I was about to chime in, man. You beat me to it because I was about to go in on him on that one. You know, and I like Shepard, man, but
nah, you know, Shepard wrong. You know, he's from Brooklyn and shit. Any type of black, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that was totally uneducated shit there to say, man, because that has nothing to do with capitalism, man. Everybody's got to understand this is a debt that's old. And I get tired of hearing these people out here talking this shit about capitalists did and the fact that we don't deserve this. This is a debt that's been old going back years and years and years, my folks, my people. It's been old to us. And we're trying to get this because, for one, my grandmother, who just passed away in 2021, my grandmother talked about this. Okay? She talked about this. She died at the age of 93, man. She got a chance, of course, to see the first black, so-called black president, if you want to call him that, President Obama. But one of the things that she didn't get to see or grab or touch was the reparation that was old. Okay? My grandmother was a sharecropper, y'all. And most of our grandparents, if we in our 40s, because I know most of us probably in our 40s in this room, we had grandparents that was sharecropping all the way into the 1920s and the 30s, y'all. Black folks was out there in them damn, hell, going beyond the 30s and the 40s. Because my mom was out there in the field. She was out there. She had to get out there, man. And they wasn't doing them a paying black folks, what, like 25, I think it was like 25 cents maybe. That's all they was paying them. This is what this country has done to us, man. This is a debt that is old. It's old. No black person should ever come up in a space or anywhere else talking about we asking for shit that belongs to capitalism. This shit is old. I want y'all to understand that. Sister Trouble, good to see you. I'm glad you came up.
Good to see you too, Professor.
Yeah, facts on that, Professor, 100%. And I ain't trying to not let you talk, Shepard. You be coming up here with the slick talk, New York, Brooklyn shit. I'm from Jersey, across the Hudson. We know how y'all niggas do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but next time he comes in, because I actually wanted to hear what he had to say. So next time, just go ahead and let him say, and then just go ahead and rebuttal. Because I was just going to tell you, go ahead and let him say. I didn't know he was going to leave out because I actually wanted to hear what he had to say. So,
but nah, that's what he do though. He get mad when he don't want to hear nobody else because he think he know it all.
that so, I mean, I know that, but I don't let him. I still want to hear what he got to say or whatever, and then we just go ahead. Then we just go ahead and rebuttal or whatever. Because, like I said, I let people get the mic. I don't care as long as you're not being disrespectful. I want to hear exactly what you got to say because I want to hear difference of opinions and stuff too. So next time he comes in or whatever, just let him go ahead. As long as he's not being disrespectful and you're just talking crazy or whatever, I don't have an issue with it. Sister Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic. You got it.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Host, co-host, Professor Reginald, Black Precious. Much love to everybody. Professor, you pretty much summed it up what I was going to say. It really kind of hits a nerve to constantly keep hearing people say you're asking the government for something, almost as if you're insinuating, like the other sister said the other night, like we're begging the government for something. We're not begging you for anything. We're not asking you for a goddamn thing. We are reminding you of the debt that's owed. It's a fucking reminder. It has nothing to do with that. We ain't asking you for shit. And I think that's the mentality that a lot of our people have, like the sister in the space on Saturday. Reparations is welfare. No, it's not. Reparations is you're asking for something. You're begging the government. And as long as we continue to have this mindset about what reparations is not, rather than what it actually is, we are going to continue to flounder as a people as far as trying to get this thing. And so we really got to start, as we were saying late into the morning, we got to get off Twitter and we've got to get into our communities. We've got to get the rest of the world, our Black world, involved with what it is so that they can stop telling us what it is when they're giving us the wrong definition of it. It's a lackadaisical type of attitude that our people have when it comes to reparations because they're all seeing it as, I ain't asking a white man for nothing. I ain't trying to get a handout. Maybe it's not a handout, it's what you people are owed. And until you thoroughly understand that, because a lot of people do not watch the news, and if they watch it, it's, well, they believe a lot of the propaganda that they see, and then they go on about their daily lives because the average person, especially as Black people, we try to make it day by day, week by week, check by check. So reparations is a pipe dream to a degree. Oh yeah, we heard about this reparations thing, but I still got to get up in the morning and do A, B, and C. So I can't really be fooled up with that reparations thing. Not realizing, baby, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. Go to work by all means. You got to go to work. You got to make that bread and take care of your house. But at the same time, when you get off work, put a little bit of effort. It don't take nothing but a phone call to call Sally Mae, call Phyllis Ann, call Beverly Ann, and tell about, about this reparations thing and what it's about. Y'all old ladies, you like to sit in your window watching everything going on out in the neighborhood. Pass the message. Y'all got a whole grapevine going on. And there was a sister earlier that said something about why is Black people always the one that's complaining and upset about something. It only appears as if Black people are always upset and complaining about something. Number one, because we culture, we set the standards, we set the status, everybody follows our lead. Number two, it only appears that way because you're not in white spaces. Take some time out of these Black spaces and go sit up inside of some of these white spaces, and you see that they just pissed off about it as us, but they're talking about it to each other. There's sometimes I go in and just randomly look for spaces and stuff and find myself in a white people room, and they be in there, they talking about it too. They don't like this Ukrainian foolishness. Maybe they're not as loud as we are about it throughout social media, but again, who you have on your social media, who you're following, dictates what comes down your news feed. So maybe you're not seeing the white people come down your news feed because that's not who your normal base of people that you're following is. But trust and believe, they're out there talking about the same things as well. I'll land right there. I got something to say when I come back later.
Facts on that, Trouble. Facts on that.
All right,
Yes, Sister Trevor, thank you for dropping the facts right there, because that's what people need to understand, and they need to hear that.
All right, BW, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay. When I was talking about the lawyers earlier, well, the guy who said the lawyer costs money, well, we all know the lawyers cost money. I was just using the lawyer as an example, far as he can just maybe get on one of these spaces and just tell us what we can do and what we can't do. And then we can take it from there. And when it's time for us to get together, then people want to complain about money, right? But people didn't have no problem giving Tariq money for that museum. So if we truly want to get this reparation and this lawyer is saying he can pull it off, or we're just going to ignore the person, I think we need to take that in consideration. And, when the trouble was talking about our people saying it's a handout, this reparations, they didn't have a problem when they got their handout with the COVID, when they give you all that money. For COVID, people was getting money. They didn't have no problem complaining about that. They took it with no problem. And, some of our people are just don't think that it can happen. They just have no motivation and no, think it can happen because, we've been down so long. And some of us just want to work and call it a day. A lot of our people don't want to do anything. They want other people to truly fight for it, but they don't want to fight themselves. So that's all I want to say.
All righty. Let me get Brother McCoo up here. Brother McCoo, then Professor, and then DJ.
Peace and reparations, family. We can't forget that back in the day when Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X was rolling around here, we had a lot of people that looked like us calling them troublemakers and stuff like that. If we got a brother, a lawyer, to say, look, I can pull off reparations, I can get that for us, the number one thing that should be running through people's heads that look like us is how do we protect this brother? Not trying to pick them apart.
and it's to the topic. Biden will play climate. He will pay any type of reparations as long as it ain't to us. He'll pay Doug reparations, cat reparations. He'll pay any type of reparations as long as it ain't black. Tranny, he already given them the trannies and you know humpbacks and you know all them different other classifications, but they never trying to give anything to black FBA. We gonna have to take it, and this may be one of the ways we had to take it. We may have to take it back to the court.
Facts on that, bro. And that's what I be saying. We're gonna have to legislate our way. We ain't nobody fighting with the sword and the gun no more. They legislating us into erasure, yo.
Yeah, real talk, brother McCool. Let me ask you real quick. What do you feel about? How do you feel the mindset of Black Americans would be if they go ahead and start giving reparations to everybody across the world?
I think the mindset will automatically go to repair. You know, I don't think I really don't. I don't really think people are going a big old spending spree like everybody is predicting. I feel like we get that check. I feel like people are going to concentrate on repair.
Oh no. What I meant to say is like, how do you think Black people will feel if other people if you know United States starts sending other countries and stuff money for reparations, and yet we haven't got reparations over here first and foremost.
Okay,
yeah. I think he missed that part because you're just coming in, brother Moko. So we was talking about the climate reparations, where you know the United States government is giving all this $200 billion to Africa, giving all this money to this country and that country, but you ain't paying us our climate reparations. We're down in Jackson, Mississippi, like you said, Tyler. It's a water issue. It's a water issue here in Newark. I think I heard about one in B-More just recently. You know, Flint still messed up. So where's our climate reparations at? You feel me?
There's one in Houston right now, y'all. It's one in Houston.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Houston. Shout out to Houston. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand.
I think we should start a riot myself first.
Yeah.
Allegedly, though. So it's allegedly. You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly, shut the space down, BW. They'll shut the space down.
Right. But I will say this. I think that is a ticking time bomb, and if they keep dishing out money to other groups and not us, that is out. I think it's going to get a little bit more rowdy, you know, because people are already fed up now, Chip Tota, and there's only so much before, you know, we just say, look, enough is enough, and you know, I would allegedly say that might be the thing to set off a damn civil war, because Black people are fed up. Black people are really fed up. You know, we're not fed up just with white people or Jews. No, we fed up with this dirty ass government. And yeah, things are going to get physical if they don't start issuing out repair where it needs to be issued out at. I'll just say it like that for the space sake. But yeah, I feel like things are going to get more hectic and more gruesome if they keep continuing to dish it out to everybody else except us.
Definitely don't disagree on that one. Now, and that was one thing we was talking about, because you have all of the Western nations, and now the United States has entered it as well too, and they're talking about all of the environmental issues they've caused, I guess, in third world countries and stuff, especially with the fossil fuels and things of that nature. They want to go ahead and get together and I guess start paying out money and this and that, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. My issue, and I said that in the space before, is that there's still a debt that's owed here. So before we go ahead and we start divvying up and we start paying all the other countries that you have wronged, because they have wronged those countries, I'll be the first to go ahead and say that. But before you go ahead and pay a group of people that's 1,000 miles away that you wrong, then you need to go ahead in your back door and right here in your backyard and pay the ones that you've been wronging for even longer than that, before there was even a such thing as, but we knew what a fossil fuel was. So before we go ahead and we start giving it to these third world countries, we got people right here in this country here that's living like they're in the third world as well too. And I know that's not most of the people, but we got plenty Black homeless people right here on Skid Road in this country, that could stand to use some reparations. So before we go ahead and start taking that cash, and it's crazy. Like they never have money, yet they've given billions of dollars to Ukraine, and now they're gonna be talking about giving billions of dollars, potentially more, to some of these foreign nations that they have ripped off over the years. So I just think the black mindset, if this goes down like that, it's really, really, we really don't know how black people are going to take this. I mean, a lot of black people are going to be pissed off. Some of them just going to like look at it like it's business as usual, and they can't do anything about it or whatever. But a lot of black folks are going to be pissed off.
And we can't forget the fact, Toda, that all it takes is we think about how much time it takes for average human being to get to the point of doing something criminalistic to survive. I mean, if you shut off food and water, it only takes maybe 2 to 3 days before someone gets violent and have to go and take what they need to survive. And that's going to be the case here. We are people that are so damaged that you keep fooling around. We're like a ticking time bomb, and you keep giving out money around us. We gonna fuck around and take that money, and they don't want a situation like that because that puts women, children, everybody at risk. But we're at a point now, like, what do we do? We're already at risk now. Like, so, being at risk even more, you're at risk already. So, yeah, we gonna start taking shit, and that is gonna get ugly. That's gonna get real ugly. I'll land right there.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. DJ, when you get a chance, check your DM. Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I agree with you there, brother Muko. Looking at everything that's happening to us right now in this country, y'all, is so depressing. You see the daily videos of homelessness. You see the daily videos of the police shootings. You see the daily disrespect. You just see our people going through all types of trials and tribulations. And when I hear people question reparations like we don't deserve this, I get really upset because we need reparations and we need it like yesterday. We need it. And this is not a handout. Anytime I hear that, I get really frustrated when I hear that term handout. But yet, this country will bail out corporations all the time. Okay? They give bailouts or corporate handouts all the time. And not to mention what they're doing right now with giving these handouts to Ukraine. See, they're handing out money to everybody else instead of the group that they should be giving this money to, and that's us. The debt that is owed. And y'all, when I hear people say that this is a handout, and of course it's our own people that say it too, which is crazy to me. I can't help but to think back to the ancestors back during 1866. After the Civil War was pretty much over and done with, we probably still had some issues still going on that had to be worked out behind the scenes. But one of the things that was being worked out in 1866, y'all, was the Freedmen's Bureau had set aside land and, from my understanding, income for freedmen, black people in this country. Okay? This was set aside, and it actually was being worked on before Abraham Lincoln, President Lincoln, was assassinated. And the idiot that took over for him, President Johnson, reneged on what was already being worked on for our people. He decided to take the land and the money and hand it over to white people, the Southern no-good-ass crackers. That's what he did. He handed it over to them. That was the reparations, y'all. That was already sealed, and it was already a deal made out for that. Okay. So when I hear people come up in these spaces talking about we don't deserve this, or it's like black people are asking for a handout, this was something that had already been worked out, y'all. That we supposed to have gotten a long time ago. Okay? And an idiot by the name of President Johnson reneged on what was already worked out. So I want y'all to understand, don't call this shit a handout, because that's not what it is. I land my plane there.
Yeah, it's definitely not a handout. It's something that's old and been old for centuries and things. So we definitely, I definitely don't consider it a handout or doing anything out the kindness of your heart. I mean, it's a debt that's paid to the people that's responsible for the entire wealth of this nation. So yeah, I definitely, when people say that it's a handout or this or that or you're begging or you all this other crazy stuff, I choose not to even listen to that kind of stuff. But I will say this much here, like I said, this has been, and in case you guys have not, you guys need to make sure y'all check this out because this has been in the news for the past couple of weeks. They're talking about it, about climate reparations. I know everybody hears climate change and things of that nature, but climate reparations is one of the hottest topics in the news cycle right now. They're discussing on how they can go ahead and pay these countries that they consider was they have a grievance with these major superpowers, these major financial powers and stuff, especially the Western nations, how they can get money from them, how they can go ahead and get reparations. So, like I said, it's everybody, most of the people that's in this space, I would assume a reparationist. This would affect you as well too. So the thing of the matter is, what's going to happen? Potentially, Joe Biden sitting up here, he can't do anything for anybody. A lot of people in politics, Republican, don't want to see him go ahead and do this. Joe Biden can never do anything for black people, but he's going to sit up here and potentially get the U.S. into going ahead and giving I don't know how many billions of dollars away to some of these foreign nations that they have screwed over. I'm not denying that they haven't screwed these nations over, but like I say, you screwed the people over here over more than anybody else. So before you go ahead and you divvy up that money, you need to go ahead and do it over here first and foremost. So what's going to happen with black Americans who've been fighting like hell to get reparations when you're talking about possibly Egypt and who knows, Nigeria and who knows how many countries in the world. It's going to be countries in possibly South America, countries in Africa, countries in Asia, that's all going to get a chunk of money. And it's just not from the US, it's from the US and Great Britain and France and all of the rest of these Western cronies who capitalize off of slavery globally, selling people, black people, especially all throughout the world. So what's going to happen when these people get together? And once again, you always have to be leery when these people get together and sit at a table and talk about what they're going to do. Because whenever they've sat at the table behind closed doors and it was about something about doing something or whatever, nothing good has ever happened. So you have to kind of be leery. And like I say, our president, who's by damn near 80 years old, can't remember where he parked his car at. Now he's sitting up here talking about, well, we're going to jump up in it too. For one, the United States was saying no about the thing. And all of a sudden he's turning around and he's talking about, well, yeah, we'll participate in it. Well, because you got the European Union up here in it. So when you got the European Union and then you got their Western cousin over here in the United States of America sitting up here talking about what they're going to do, like I say, I'm not really a big proponent of that. Black pressure, you got to go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, what's up, Black Family? So news, DJ Ray, what's going on? What's up? So, once again, I apologize in advance. I did not catch the sister's name that said we need to start a riot. Is she still in here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I just want to tell her that she won the room with that one for the night. She hit that one out of the park. And the reason I say what I say, I'm the biggest reparation proponent out there. I climb to the top of a mountain and yell that out. But if we're brutally honest, like the sister said, white people aren't going to ever give us reparations. We're going to have to take it. Just like when you go back to America before it was America, white people had to commit genocide on two different continents. And that was literally the foundation to make America a superpower. And then when the people that you committed that genocide against, when they stood up and they wanted equal treatment, you visited the most extreme horrors and atrocities on. So just like when we got the right to vote, we didn't get the right to vote by voting. We got the right to vote by getting blasted by water hoses and eaten by dogs and gunned down by police and buried in shallow graves. It's going to be the same thing with reparations. We want our reparations back, like the sister said. It's just going to take violence. It's an act of violence is going to have to happen for us to get reparations. Kind of ducked off at work, so I'm gonna land my plane right there.
And I'd like to co-sign Black Pressure NBW.
Absolutely. Black Native, I see you got your hand up, sister. Go ahead and unmute your mic. And before you do that, y'all go into Jumbotron and make sure you go ahead and follow Newstoter on YouTube and also subscribe to the newsletter. Support us if you can on Cash App. That's $Newstoter. That is $Newstoter. Go ahead, Black Native.
Peace, Newstoter. Peace, Ray, DJ, and Professor, and the room. Like, I read that article, and it's to the point, like the brother said, like they're just giving us their ass to kiss. I'm just gonna keep it real. They like, look, F y'all. We know you want reparations, but guess what we gonna do? We gonna give it to everybody else besides you niggas. If ET was to come down in a fucking spaceship, they would get reparations before we do. So this is a slap in the face. It's an insult. This is intentional. They understand fully that we are demanding reparations. And what's the guy, Gavin Newsom? They keep pushing the reparations back in California so he can use that and dangle it as a carrot for his, I guess when he runs for, I guess, governor or even president, he's going to be like, look, I spoke about reparations, Black people. I'm the only one, and I actually was about to do something. Vote for me. This is the game plan. So at this point, it's like, are we going to continue to sit here and be like waiting and twiddling our fingers, sitting in the corner? Meanwhile, everybody and their mama is getting reparations. They gave the LGBTQ reparations out in California. They ain't even asked for it. They getting I think a $1,500 to $1,800 a month check.
Hey, sorry, Black Native. Somebody had a hot mic. Hold on a minute, sis. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like, I don't know what are we gonna do if we are saying, hey, peacefully, we've held rallies, we've done pull-ups, we have another rally. Thank you, Professor, for sending that to me. 2023, I believe, in Texas, and we're being peaceful at this point. They know clearly, damn well, that they owe us this money. Let us not be confused. And this is a slap in the face. And what I was saying, they gave reparations or a form of reparations to the LGBTQ community when they didn't even ask for it. And I think they get like $1,500 to $1,800 a month because they were denied access to legal marriage. So that's why they're getting reparations. So you're telling me old funky Joe Biden is going to be giving reparations to all these foreign nations while the Black people in this country are saying we demand reparations here, and they're turning a blind eye to it. So yeah, it's going to have to come to a point when we're going to be like, look, we've marched, we've wrote to Congress, we boycotted, we rallied, we've done everything that we could peacefully to demand that they give us our reparations. Now what's the next step? And the next step is probably going to have to be violence. And that's probably what is going to happen. Because as long as we keep sitting here watching them shit on us, and they think it's okay, like if this is a joke, we're going to have to step the game up. I'll land my plane on that. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. And Black Native, did you get a chance? I know yesterday, sister, you were supposed to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't, please go ahead. I need your support.
No problem, brother. Let me go do it now. Hold on, let me go do it right now.
It's in the Jumbotron.
Oh, okay, I could do it because I was going to do it on my TV.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I'll do it in the Jumbotron.
Let me go ahead and get to Volvo, since I see he's a new speaker, and let me go ahead and get to Trouble after that.
Let me say this. I know I'm going to have a popular opinion tonight.
terrible. We've been rioting since slavery. We were riding in slavery, after slavery, and all that. I feel as though we need unification in a real way, like in a real way, like a real way. Like we need to go city to city, town to town, where our people at, and we need to get unified in a real way, and make everybody get on the same page, make everybody get on code, because we all saying the same shit. We all know the situation that we in. So we need to get together in a real way, not just online. I mean, like everybody need to get together. Like we have to do a reparations tour, and go to all the cities and all the towns where we at, and get everybody on code. And we're gonna vote this way. We're gonna say this and we're gonna say that. Like tearing shit up. Yeah, that do work. Now don't get me wrong, that do work. But I feel like in this case, we don't need to do all that. We just tore shit up all 2020. We was tearing up everything. You know what I'm saying? Niggas showed their ass 2020.
Wait a minute now, brother. Wait a minute now. You getting the information wrong there, Bobo. Now, it was white folks out there tearing up the damn cities. Now, come on.
Oh, no, I was out there, bro. It was niggas was getting busy.
It was both of them out there too. It was both of them. It was black and white out there tearing it up too.
Yeah, exactly. And if we start tearing up shit again, it's gonna be some white people ready to tear up shit too. I don't think y'all understand. Y'all, I know, like we got a dislike for white people, but we live around these people. And there's a whole lot of white folks right now waiting for something to jump off so they can tear up shit. White folks tear up shit too. So if we go out there and start tearing up shit, they gonna go out there and tear up shit. We don't.
You sound like, you know what? I don't know if you just like to oppose, and you just like to be the fly on the wall, and you just want to come with an opinion. I mean, it's not wrong with your opinion, but it seems like you're always in opposition to what the majority or the masses of us are saying. So I'm wondering what's the deal with that, and who cares if white people go ahead and tear it up? Like Fannie Lou Hankman said, if we can't have it, ain't nobody else going to enjoy this motherfucker. And they
that ain't what I'm saying. What are you talking about?
Real quick, because I know Black Native, you have some issues with your mic too. So real quick, just let Volvo go in, y'all, and then y'all go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll go ahead and we'll get it back to y'all. So just go ahead and let him get his point across, because like I said, he may have a difference of opinion, but it's good to have a difference of opinion. It's good to create that dialogue. So go ahead and let Volvo go ahead and get it in, and then whoever wants to speak, just go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll get to you. Just especially, like, I know some of us have some situations with our mics and stuff like that too, so we don't have that echo and everything. Let one person go ahead and get their point, and when that person's done, then we can go ahead and move it around the room. Go ahead, Volvo.
No, I wasn't just trying to go against the grain. Brad said something about it was white folks out there too. Anytime it's a riot, we don't live in this country by ourselves. There's some white people that's gonna go out there and tear up shit too. That's all I was saying. Like they always gonna tear up shit. When we tear up shit, they tear up shit too. So of course it was some white folks out there. But that ain't what I'm saying though. I just feel as though that's a bad idea. Like that, riots do work, but we've been tearing up shit. We've been rioting. What type of riot? When you say riot, like what do you mean? Like what we riot in one place, or we riot all throughout the country? Well, I think a better idea, we're gonna riot all throughout the country. Let's sit down and talk with our people and say, hey y'all, we need to do this, this, and this, and we need for y'all to vote this way. And why don't we?
Excuse me, bro. You the only one that's using this term riot. Nobody said riot up in here. Nobody has.
Oh, what was it said?
They were saying that we might have to use some form of violence to get our message across. They didn't say that and tearing up buildings and shit. No,
when you say violence, like, well, who you want to go get? What are you talking about? What you about to go do? What you about to go wrinkle up Biden shirt? You about to walk in the White House and
real quick, y'all, just go ahead and let Volvo go ahead and land this plane. That way we can go ahead and get everybody so they have their own time to go in and speak. So just go ahead and let Volvo land this plane. I'm going to get to you, Professor. I'm going to get to you, Black Native. I know you had your hand up, but I'm going to get to you as well, too, Trouble. So let's go ahead and let Volvo go ahead and land this plane, get to his point, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get it to y'all so y'all can go ahead and, you know, say what you got to say.
Okay, my bad. But I'm gonna close with this. I thought you meant rioting when you said acts of violence. Like, who you about to go? What you about to go beat somebody up? Like, like you about to go walk in there and beat up Biden when you say acts of violence? Like, what do you mean? That's what I'm assuming y'all was talking about. I land there.
All right, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get the Trouble Professor Black Native. Go ahead, Trouble.
Okay, so to Black Native's point, I feel like this country has been very disrespectful. Climate reparations, the topic, is very disrespectful. It's like every time you turn around, they're finding new ways to give away more money and really totally disregarding us. And to even call it climate reparations feels like a total slap in the face. It feels like we're being spit on. Every time you turn around, we're hearing about this group getting some, the LGB in California, even though that's not a nationwide thing. Just even hearing about it in certain areas is so disrespectful and cringy. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Before I came to Twitter, I was on Facebook a lot talking about reparations. And after a while, I got to the point where I really felt like in my heart of hearts, the only way we're going to get it is in blood. And I hate to say it, but at the end of the day, that's what it feels like because they're not trying to get... People spend their money on what they find important to them. And we are not important to them. That's sort of like every time I used to ask Mama, can I get a couple of dollars so I go to the candy store? I ain't got no money. Well, Mom, why you always say you ain't got no money, but you always got a pack of cigarettes? Because people spend their money on what they find important. You know, Volvo, in the 2020 riots, even the FBI and the CIA came out and said that the BLM protest was heavily infiltrated by white supremacist groups. And that even though it was Black people that we were the forefront, the face of the movement, it was the white people who were joining our movements who were the main cause of those riots being started, the main cause of the buildings being burned down and broken into. And all you got to do is throw some stuff up in a building and run up in it, and niggas gonna follow behind because, hey, it's already broken into. So everybody running out with some stuff, we run out with some stuff too. But we were not the antagonists in that situation. It was the white people who joined our movements, and yeah, we was doing stuff too. But like I said, the FBI and the CIA, and I can go back and pull up those articles, do a Google search on it. They were saying that it was white supremacist group who were doing the majority of those fires being set X, Y, and Z. To a degree, I also feel, because I've said it in several spaces now, we are going to have to go city by city, state by state. We may not be able to do it in every city. Maybe have to take some of the metropolitan cities and some of the larger cities and each state, but we have got to go and get the word out to the people. There's many things that we could do. There's a whole lot of things that we could do. When it comes to setting this motherfucker on fire, that'll probably be the last thing that we do. But we're gonna try everything till we get to that point. But at some point in time, if nothing that we've been doing is gonna work, then yes, let's tear this motherfucker up because if we can't have it, goddamn it, ain't nobody else gonna have it. And we gotta feel like that. And I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. I don't know if y'all ready to feel like that, but I bet you at the end of the day, if everything that we've been setting out and setting forth is not gonna work, goddamn it, we're gonna have to get it back in blood. Sometimes you gotta take what the fuck you want because motherfuckers ain't willing to give it to you. When you asking them, when you telling them, reminding them the right goddamn way to treat you like they treat everybody else who didn't build this bitch. Everybody and their mama coming over here getting our money. And we gotta see it like that. They getting our shit. Every year, Israel getting our shit. Every immigrant come over here, they getting our shit. Now you motherfuckers done came up with some goddamn climate reparations for them. So the climate, so the weather, so the rain, so all these other motherfuckers is getting our shit, but we can't get our shit. You came inside of our house about our own house and you feel like you don't owe us, they owe us. There's things we can do beforehand, go city to city, state to state. I've been saying we need to have like little town halls in every state to get the word out. We got to get into our community, have community meetings, get the word out, run ads on everything, television, radio, newspaper, flyers. There's things that we can do before we exhaust the last thing that we can do, and that's fuck some shit up. And I like fucking some shit up. I'm good at that. I'm just saying.
Trouble gang. No.
Trouble.
All right, sister. I appreciate you as always, Trouble. Very passionate, very passionate. I want to real quick, Professor, before I get to you, let me get to daughter Zion. She hasn't spoken yet, so let me go ahead and hear what this sister has to say. Daughter Zion, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh, thank you very much. I just came into your space because I was in another space and listening to someone named Del Banco who was speaking on reparations, and I was just so angry. And because he's speaking on it, and I'm just tired of certain people speaking on it, they just should not be. And I guess he's a professor, a scholar, and he had this. So in other words, his speech was kind of the host of the room deciphered it, and the way he twisted the speech was he sounded like an obstructionist, like he wanted to obstruct reparations in a nice way. And all I could think of is everything that's been going on the last few weeks and things being revealed for us. And I just feel like that's been the problem. That's why we haven't gotten it, because behind the scenes, someone is maneuvering. It's strategic. It's strategic to keep us from getting reparations. There's something wrong here. For everybody to get it, everybody and their mother, they don't even ask reparations and they get it. And, they hear us, they see us, but they don't want to see us. We're being ignored. And when, I came in the room, I think this when you guys were talking about, someone was talking about, the violent part. And you know what? The kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. At some point, something's going to have to be done. You guys do understand this, right? And something. I'm not going to say any words, but, this is at the point where it's beyond ridiculous. It's beyond disrespect. I don't even have words anymore for what this is, but it's definitely strategic. It's definitely obstruction to not give us reparations. It's on purpose. I just want you guys to see that. It is on purpose. Something has to be done different, because the peaceful way has not worked. The peaceful way is not going to work. It's not. And I'll probably have more to say, but I'll land my plane. I just want to say that right quick.
No problem. Appreciate you, sister. Thank you for dropping in and definitely sharing your thoughts with us. If you want to speak again, don't go anywhere. Just stay up here, raise your hand whenever you want to go ahead and get the mic again, and we will definitely get back to you. We're gonna move it around a little bit. We're gonna get to Professor, Black Native, BW, Black Pressure, and Brother McCoo. So, Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic. Then Black Native, then BW, Black Pressure, and Brother McCoo. So, go ahead, Professor.
Yes, thank you again, Newstoter, for letting me come back in to speak on this. And just to reply to or respond to Bobo, no, brother, we're not talking about going out into the streets to burn down buildings and riots and shit like that. When people are talking about doing something about this, we have done the, marching for peace. We done the pull-ups. We done a lot of peaceful demonstrations, right? But unfortunately, that's being ignored. So then you come down to where, look, even some point in history, white people got out and they had a revolution, right? They came up with the American Revolution. They said, hey, man, King George is stepping on us, man. He's disrespecting us, right? Well, guess what? We are those people. See, they stepping on us, see? And so we're talking about like that, a revolution. Not this shit that you were just talking about where people was out there in 2020 and they was out there just all in the streets and turning over cars and burning down buildings, which Sister Trouble just spoke on that. The FBI said that the majority of the people that were starting those fires and throwing Molotov cocktails and just basically disrupting the peaceful demonstration was white supremacists. Now that's been proven. The FBI and the CIA both came out and said that. The majority of the marches that were planned by BLM were peaceful marches or demonstrations. But see, even when we're doing all this peaceful demonstration, it's not getting across to these people what we're trying to get done here. And that is we need our reparations. There's other things we need too, but reparations is at the top of the list. So that's what I just want to say to you, Bravo, and you more than welcome to respond, whenever you have time, because there's other people that's got to talk. But that's what I was talking about.
All right, appreciate that, brother. Let me give a shout out to Brother McCoo for his contribution on Cash App. Thank you, Brother McCoo, as always, for supporting Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest curator of Black news today in America. Shout out to some of my people that's in the space now, Black Majority State. I see Miss Terrell up in here. Miss Terrell, I hadn't seen you up in the Twitter space and the Newstoter Twitter space in a long time, sister. So peace to you. I know you a lot of times you listen to us on YouTube and catch the recording. So peace to you, sister. I'm glad to have you up in the space as well. Ree, I see you with your One Love Black profile. That's quite the picture there. You keep switching these pictures up on me, Ree. So I don't know what's one day you got one picture, next day you got another one, but that's a nice looking picture there. So it's like a cartoon type picture. Nice looking sister that you got on there. So shout out to you as well too, and to everybody that's up in the space and whatnot. Be Real, Queen B, Goddess, Carlos, Mel, Francis, Val, Diane, peace to all of y'all. I appreciate you guys being up in here. If you could, go ahead and please tweet out the actual space, tweet out the space. If that's not a problem for you guys, go ahead and tweet out the space. And like I say, I'm glad to see some of our people in here that haven't been up here in a while. So I appreciate having you guys up in here. Let me go ahead and kick this to Black Native. Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic, sister.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to speak again, Newstoter. I'm actually on your YouTube channel. It's called Three People Watching. So I'm on your YouTube watching when I don't want to come in the space. So I appreciate that. Like everybody said in the room, like at this point, they're giving the wind, the air, and the sea reparations. Not that that's not important. Not that our planet is not important to us. We care about the planet and anybody else does. But I don't think the wind is going to be able to cash that check. So at this point, it's an insult. It's beyond, like the sister said, it's beyond words at this point. They know what we want. Like everybody said, we've been peaceful. Only thing I would suggest, and this is just a suggestion, the larger cities like Houston, New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Detroit, all these, we need to maybe come up with some type of not speaking over here on the internet, but in private, and have a day where we all just, each city and each state comes out all at one time. And see, that'll bring attention, like, okay, you got people coming from California doing it on the same day, people from New York, all with one, I guess, I don't know how to say consensus or whatever, coming out doing a rally or a protest march for reparations. And we all do, all these different major cities do it at one time. If that don't open up their eyes, really, it's just, that's the only thing I can think of peacefully. We have people going down to legislators and they're being ignored. It's just that to the point of what do we do now? You know what I'm saying? Besides, it matters, and however that turns out. And I just say to Volvo Rants, I watched the beginning of the protests, which turned into the country being on fire in 2020. And I watched those people in Minnesota from the beginning. They were the first to set it off. And I'm looking at a live feed on YouTube. And, it started out, the people were protesting peacefully. The cops, had rubber bullets, started shooting people and tear gassing them. They were pouring milk on their eyes. They went over to the precinct. Guess who set the precinct on fire? It was, when I was watching, it was a white man. So yeah, see, it was white supremacists. Even white police officers were getting arrested because they were in the riots, tearing shit up. So it wasn't us. So we clear that up and stop trying to say it was us. Okay. So I just want to say that we need to come up with some serious solutions, because at this point, yeah, the climate is getting reparations. And like I said, people from Landis decided to come up from out the sea. They would get reparations to start their own communities from out of the sea. This is what we're fought for. This is where we at right now as a people. And it's very insulting. And I land my plane. Thank you.
All right. I think we have BW is next. BW is next.
I have told people about we should do a massive boycott, right? And people, oh, that ain't gonna work. That don't work. And some of the people, I said, telling them we should definitely hit these Asian people. The only thing these black people say is, all Asian people ain't bad. And then, they make up excuses for other people. And also when they were going to say, well, we have to have alternative to shop. I said, well, it's black businesses. And I even told them about other places they could go to. And I said, then you have to do some research. And the only thing they say, oh, we don't have time for that. So it's like we have a defeated mindset to even try to do something different, because I look at it like if a massive boycott would definitely work. Because I look at it like if we hurt, nation hurt. Because we control everything, because we make all these other cultures rich. Without us, they'll fail. But people don't believe that. So they're scared to try that. And so we get to the point now, we got to do something besides sitting here, keep talking about it. Either we going to do something or we just need to give up. Because I'm really tired about talking about it. These people don't care about us. They don't care if we die in the streets. They don't care. We got to care about ourselves. Even when the lady Black Nature, I don't know your name, but anyway, she was saying we need to do something, get together as in each city. I agree with you, because when they were supposed to be doing these pull-ups, the person here who's supposed to have been doing it, I had told him, I had sent him a video how these white people was out there doing a protest for the abortions, right? I said, that's what we need to do. Stop going to these events and handing out flyers. Hell with that. We need to get a group, walk up and down Wood with the main block where all these hunkies at, and protest. Let them hear our voices. Or go in front of the city council building. But people scared to go further or take that chance because they're scared. Just like this guy who was just speaking earlier, he was coming out, we don't want violence, right? We don't want to come to do no violence either, but sometimes if that's what it takes, if we done tried everything, we got to do something. We can't be scared. We got to take it to that. And that's all I want to say.
All right. Well, sister, I will say this here, that you do have people organizing and things of that nature, trying to get the actual reparation movement out there. We've actually in the past few years and stuff, but just been going ahead and passing it out there and trying to spread the message as much as possible. Are we there to the point that we need to be? No, we're not there yet. But you do have a bunch of people that's on the grassroots, people that's not even on Twitter and stuff like that, that's actually out there actively campaigning and trying to increase the actual knowledge and things of that nature about it. So yeah, we still have much more work to do. It's still pretty new to a whole bunch of people, but slowly but surely we're trying to go ahead and we're trying to get it out there as much as possible. So, and you're right, we need to increase it, definitely. But you have people that's out there doing it, so we can all do our part and try to spread as much as possible, especially to the younger generation who one day are going to be the ones that's going to be leading and in charge of everything. So we need to go ahead and get it to the point where they're taking it over. They're ready to take that torch and just take it to a level that we never could even dream of. Because one thing about reparations, y'all, we have to be honest with ourselves that this is a process, and it's not going to happen like overnight. We're just going to have to keep working and working and working and working. We didn't get into this position that we are overnight. It took hundreds of years for Black people to be subjugated in this country. So it's just not something that's just going to just pop up one day. And, we very well may not see reparations in our lifetime. Our children may not even see it, but potentially grandkids, great grandkids. And my thing is like this here, like, and I said this a number of times, to me, it doesn't matter if I ever see it. As long as, my kids or grandkids or great nieces and great nephews, they have a chance to actually see it and experience it or whatever, then, to me, it's worthwhile. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass it around to Black Pressure. We got Black
Okay,
Pressure.
I want to ask this WPI something right quick. You're the one that posted the rally that's coming up in June, right? WPI.
Hey, DJ, you there?
Need a second. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. You the one had that posting for the rally in was it June?
Yeah, it's a Juneteenth rally, I think, in DC, June 23rd, I believe. When was that rally, DJ?
Yes, getting the Jumbotron sisters.
Right. I didn't see the time on there. That's why I was asking. What's the time on there?
Well, no, it's going to be an all day. Well, Sister Taxation got her hand up. She want to go ahead and spit on it.
I'm not mistaken, that rally is going to be held the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like full of lectures and not just lectures, but lessons on how to lobby. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it's supposed to be led by a sister named No Taxation.
Right.
She's the sister with her hands up right now. She might want to speak on it. Sister Taxation.
Yeah, that's my sister right there.
Yep.
I love y'all.
That's right.
I love my people. I love them. I love them. I just want to say a few things. The other lady, Black Native, we follow each other. I want you to DM me your information because we could really use you for some work on the rally. Please understand that this is everyone's rally that is for lineage-based reparations. Now, if you're for that, we need you there. If you're not for that, don't bother to come. And we're not going to change our narrative. That's number one. Number two, there's going to be a whole host of things, and there are so many organizations involved. The website is just a starter. It's going to be updated as long as it takes. We have many organizations across the country involved. The reason you don't see them on the website now is because I haven't finished inviting everybody. And I want to have a complete list before I get it up. But we have everybody from California to Chicago to New York to Florida. Everybody is going to be involved in this because it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. And the only way we are going to let them boys on Capitol Hill know that we mean business is to show up in numbers. It's a numbers game. We're asking for numbers, which is the reparations, and we need to show up in numbers. This is not for a political party. We are not inviting any politicians. We're telling them that you cannot have anything from us, not even a look, if you don't do what it takes. They need to put an offer on the table, and they need to do it quick. We're not talking about HR 40 no more. We ain't talking about studying nothing. We ain't talking about a commission. Here's what I want everybody new to know. Everybody on both sides of the aisle on Capitol Hill is fully aware of what they need to do. Everybody has reparations in their mouth. And here's what I want to say about that new reparations article that came out today, what y'all was talking about. I went and looked it up. I did some research on that. When the news first hit, they did not use the word reparations, okay? After Biden's announcement. After that, they started using the word reparations because they want to get us riled up. They don't understand we don't need nobody to rile us up. We already riled up. That's number 1, 2, and 3. And this is the culmination of all of the work I know that I've done for the past 5 to 7 years, and a whole lot of other people that are on this spaces. We have been out here for a long period of time. Okay, legislation is being passed in certain states, but what we need is federal legislation. State legislation is fine. That's atonement. We need federal legislation because only the federal government can pay us. We need our stuff to come out of the checks to come out of the Department of Prison, direct deposit. We don't want no gold. We don't want no silver. We don't want none of that. We want exactly what we are owed. Books have been written, and I know y'all know that. There he is on his second book. Okay? He's got 30 plus years of research in the game, and that's what we're leaning on. People who have been really doing the work for long periods of time. It's time that we have let these white folks on Capitol Hill, and the black ones too, but whatever. They don't have to be on our side, and we don't need nobody on our side. We ain't begging for nobody to be on our side. What we're telling those people is that this is it. Because everybody on this space is Miss BW and Black Native, we all feel the same way. The next step after this rally is what y'all gonna do. We need to look them in the eye and make sure we got all the news people coming. Everything is going to be in order. All we ask is that you all show up. Go on the website. If you need to get a bus, go. The bus people is on the website. Everything you need is on the website for you to get started. Okay? You got 6 months, because we're going to say December is over. You got 6 months to get it together and go down to Washington, D.C. on Freedom Plaza. You want to know the day is June 18th. It's going to start at noon and end at midnight. So come at any time between 12 and 12. We'll be down there. And if it gets too bad, we might stay. Okay? We're going to be down on the National Monument. We're going to be in a grassy amphitheater. And we're not going to be playing with these people. It's part protest, part festive. It's multi-generational. If you have children, bring them. If you have somebody disabled in your family, bring them. If you drive a candy paper car and you got teardrops on your face and you done did a bid, I want you there. We want all sectors of Black America present and accounted for. We mean business. And this is a we rally, not a me rally. It's a we rally. And I want to make that perfectly clear. And Black Native, I want you, let's talk on the back end, you and I.
Yeah, I just sent you my email, sister.
Thank you, because I wanted to approach you before this, but I said, no, I'm going to fall back a little bit because, I try to mind my business a little bit, And it's, you never know where people are coming from, but you keep saying the same thing. And I said, she's just like me. She loves Black people and she's fed up. And that's all we need. We need people who are fed up and love Black folks. That's it.
So what is the website?
And if y'all get in the Jumbotron, it's right there. It says reparations2023.com. It's really that simple. reparations2023.com. And you just get right here in the Jumbotron, or you can text me and I'll send it to you through the DM. But go ahead, Tyler.
All right, let's go ahead and get to I believe Black Pressure is next. Black Pressure, you still up here?
Hey, go ahead and skip me. I'm about to badge out of work, man. I got here at 5 in the morning, man. It's 9. I'm just getting off, so I'm gonna hit y'all up when I get in the car.
Okay, no problem. I will get you back up here, bro.
On the plantation, brother.
Hey, DJ, check this out. Hey, real quick. Hey, man, you need to come down to Houston with me and get this money, man. You come out here for 2 years. You come out here a couple of years, man. You go back to Jersey sitting fat, man. I'm telling you, get to come out here.
Real talk for all my brothers. We may have to hold a space about that. All my brothers looking to relocate to Houston. Black Pressure get you a job out there. So y'all go ahead and definitely holler at this brother if y'all serious about trying to get money. Now don't come out there talking about you trying to get money. You don't want to work. But if you're serious and you want to work, then holler at my dog Black Pressure about that. Let's go ahead and kick it to Brother McCool. Brother McCool, what's going on?
Sister, no taxation. I already hit you with a follow, by the way.
And I'm
Let me
definitely
just
gonna
say
be down
this,
there.
Brother McCool, before you say anything, I want you to give me your information because I want you to. All right.
Definitely, I'm gonna get that to you ASAP. But I'm gonna say this: the one thing that got me attracted to her movement, or to the We movement, was that she actually going down there on a business day and interrupting business and showing you how to interrupt business. I was down at Therese rally, and big up to that. That shit was monumental. You know, but MLK Million Man March, I was there. Everything was done on the weekend when all their business was closed. They could give a fuck what we do in front of their business when they not conducting it. But when we talk about, I'm with, uh, I'm with, my man. Damn, I can't even, Bobo. I can't even believe I got tongue tied on that, bro. But I'm with my man Bobo. You know what I'm saying? Let's try different measures. We ain't never tried to go down there on a Wednesday and do a big ass rally, or not even a rally, but go down there and demand some shit. I've never seen that or heard that done in history.
Hey, Brother McCool, not to cut you off real quick, but DJ, I'm gonna step away from 1 second. Go ahead and let Brother McCool go ahead and finish speaking. And we got daughter Zion, and we got Black Native next. Okay.
All right, for sure. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, McCool.
Yeah. So with that being said, definitely, I think we should be doing other drastic measures. Definitely before violence, but I definitely understand everybody, and even what I say, I stand on what I said before, 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing this shit to us, yeah, shit won't get violent, but I feel like, yeah, let's try to let's not try, but let's interrupt their business for once. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen that done. I've never seen a multi-million march on Washington on a fucking Monday. You know what I'm saying? We say, hey, nah, fuck this. Y'all not doing shit until we get our shit. You feel me? Let's try that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, if you spit in our face after that, oh yeah, shit gonna get violent after that. I mean, we ain't got no other way to go. You know what I'm saying? But let's exhaust every measure before we talk about just getting out of there with some unorganized violence. Because anything that's coming organized, we don't want to bring our shit. We don't want to bring ourselves down to their level. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. When you're dealing with killers, you either got to become a killer or find another way to expel that killer. You know what I'm saying? Take out that killer. You know what I'm saying? So it's either at this point, you know what I'm saying? We gotta pull out. We gotta start doing things that haven't been done before. You know what I'm saying? I feel vulnerable on that. Yeah, violence has been done before, but ain't nobody ever interrupted white supremacist business. I ain't never seen that. I land with that.
Hey, facts on that, bro. 100%. You know what I mean? We'll definitely hear you on that one. You know what I mean? Hey, Ray, I know you had your hand up for a minute too. You want to just spit something real quick?
No, really, this is more to you. I've been pretty much quiet all night, man. I wanted to hear what all the family had to say, but I know you live up there in New Jersey, and I seen that Eric Adams. I'm sorry to get off subject, y'all. I'm just supporting, so I want to make sure I'm putting it out. It says that Eric Adams plans to hospitalize people that he's deeming mentally ill involuntarily in a push to remove them from the streets and subways.
Yeah, just to speak on that real quick, a lot of those so-called mentally ill folks is a lot of these tether rooms that's coming across the country with no resources. The other mentally ill folks, yeah, I know, I'm not sure. Got a hot mic. Mute your mic real quick.
Oh, my bad, bro.
Yeah. I just think a lot of these mentally ill patients, yeah, some of these mentally ill folks is definitely our people, but from what I see up here, the homeless are mainly white folks, bro, that are mentally ill, running the streets, beating up these Asians. This is how Asians really got a hate crime, but they blamed it on us. They didn't want to blame it on the white people. So they were showing you all through the news of 2022 and COVID and all this stuff that, oh yeah, look at this black man beating up on this Asian and all this other stuff. Beat this old Asian lady up, put her in a coma and all. But hold up, a lot of them folks you don't arrested, they are other nationality black. They not black Negroes, so this is the narrative of flattening the, not wanting to flatten blackness in America. We got to stop that, you know what I mean? Because everybody that come here, you may look like us, but you ain't us, you know what I mean? And then Eric Adams, he tether gang himself. Yeah, he the mayor, but I'm gonna probably have to agree with, you might have to get some of them folks up off the street involuntarily and against their own will, because some of these motherfuckers are really mentally ill. You gotta. What'd you say? What'd you say, bro?
I didn't say anything. That wasn't me. But the only thing I'm saying is just be careful with that. It's people that they're deeming to be mentally ill. That's
right. No, I understand what you're saying. No, I understand what you're saying 100%. But there are both jokers just walking around.
That's serious, right? That's serious. I didn't hear it. It went out for a minute. I couldn't hear anybody. I heard the article that you just spoke on it. That's serious. Keywords. People that they deem. That's serious.
Right. But what I'm saying is that you have folks running around that are really mentally ill around here. You got random jokers just. I don't know if y'all really pay attention to the news up here in New York. You know what I'm saying? Right. Hey, McCool, I think you might be in the Matrix, bro. I don't know. Can you hear me? Brother McCool, you in the Matrix, though. But make a long story short, a lot of the stuff that go on in New York, you know what I mean? It ain't all us. A lot of these folks are coming from different countries committing these crimes. So to make a long story short, again, I understand the context and the terminology, Ray, 100%. So yeah, we gonna have, it's gonna be black Negroes gonna have to combat that type of terminology, but it ain't many of us left up here. You feel what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, again, just to make a long story short, and we'll get to your sister, daughter Zion, a lot of these folks that are running around mentally ill up here are non-black Americans. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? I see a lot of these tethers up here, coming from South America. You could tell they fucking crazy, yo, and probably been through some shit coming this way, and was probably already traumatized in their own home country. So when they come up here thinking because Biden told them they was gonna get some type of resources, you feel what I'm saying, and wound up not getting nothing, what are you supposed to do except go crazy? And don't forget, Jada Kiss said a very famous line. I know niggas that go to jail just to get their teeth fixed. So a lot of these tellers are committing crimes. They either do one or two things: go into the system to get some type of help, or just fucking deport me because I have no means of getting back home. I'll go ahead, do whatever little time I got to do for whatever crime I committed, and just go and send me back home after that. Because there ain't no way for me to even get back home. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't got nobody up there. Remember, a lot of these folks tracked across the country. A lot of them was single individuals, dolo, just trying to get here because Biden and Kamala told them it was okay to come across the border. But a lot of these folks that are just wound up randomly going up on people, stabbing them in the back. Like, you would think New York is lawless as fuck right now. Some of the shit that's happening up here. It was a little girl. And like, you gotta watch these jokers that be on these little 4-wheelers and scooters up here. You know what I mean? They snatched a little girl up, tried to take her chain, right? But I guess that chain must have been some real fucking gold and some real material, because they could not get that shit off her neck. They wound up dragging her because they was on a little moped scooter, one driving, one in the back. They tried to snatch the shit, but it didn't come off her neck. She got a real nasty ring, a bruise around her neck, this little Spanish girl. But it was some Spanish jokers trying to take the shit, or some white-looking jokers. You see what I'm saying? And then when it comes to the blacks, you know what I'm saying, or those that are melanated, excuse me, I got my fingers up. We don't know where y'all come from. Keep it fucking real, man. You know what I'm saying? How we know that the person that committed this crime is a Negro freeman or other black from the diaspora. And these folks don't identify as that. They say, yeah, we all black American. You know what I mean? When they get in trouble when committing crimes, but as soon as something come across their way that oh, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican, Haitian, and I'm from the Congo and all this other shit. So I agree with the cleanup as far as the mentally ill. I don't know where you're gonna put these people at, but I also understand the language too about who they deem. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna be a fight, bro. But Did the sister come back up in? Hey, yeah, daughter of Zion, real quick. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Rachel. After that, daughter of Zion.
No, I got just just one quick point I was gonna make, DJ, because obviously everyone in here is for reparations. I might be reaching, so let me know if I'm reaching. All right. So, what if they decide, okay, well, this person didn't work for this money? This is the way they think. This person didn't work for this money, but they want us to give them reparations. This person is mentally ill. Then it flips on us because we already know mass incarceration has always, been targeted at us, man. That's all I'm asking, man. All my brothers and sisters up north, please, y'all be careful.
Right. So, just to speak real quick.
Just to let everybody know I'm back too. So
for sure, Tyler. So just to say real quick on that, Ray, that's the bull crap Umar was saying. Like, you're gonna have to repair us before you give us any type of money. But you don't repair these mentally ill white folks, and you give them money all the time, and they get money all the time through the hands of the government. You feel what I'm saying? So while we gotta be mentally repaired and all that, and then while we constantly getting pocket watching from these other folks. Umar, I don't think he a real doctor. I ain't never seen no transcripts. Yeah, you could show us a piece of paper with a degree decorum on it. That shit don't mean nothing. I could get my little cousin to go print up one of these fake templates online and put your name in the shit. You feel what I'm saying? Show me the actual transcripts that came from your school, friend. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't even think that nigga a real doctor. Other thing is too, he saying that he got heritage that come from somewhere in South America, Panama, or something like that. So okay,
I think he said Cuba.
Cuba, Panama, it's all the same. South America, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, why you gotta be pocket watching, you know what I mean? Now, yeah, we do need mental health care, and there's a crisis in Black America because we the ones really running around with the PTSD all damn day, every day. I gotta deal with our folks. My blood pressure is high. I'm not feeling well, all because of the stress of white supremacy and the shit, the racism and the prejudice this country has put on us. But for whatever the reason, damn, if we ain't the strongest, because we still holding on. But this shit is really killing us. Henceforth, the space you had yesterday, Tyler, about is the racism making our brains damaged and all this other stuff. Hell yeah, I know I got some sickness in my brain, but I'm holding on because I know what the fucking mission is, yo. Now I get it. Now it takes you to go through this shit in order to know what you're supposed to be doing. You feel what I'm saying? So, to my sisters out there like online, hold your head, sis, because it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? And anybody out there that's Black, Freeman, Negro going through something, hey, man, talk to anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is, white or black alike. If you got to get this shit off your chest or get something off your chest, you feel what I'm saying? Because you holding it in, that shit ain't going to do nothing but make you more mentally ill. You feel what I'm saying? But what you call it? Did she still? Oh, your daughter Zion. She had her hand up for a minute, and I was gonna say, can we get the sister Goddess down here, Michelle? She just came up in the chat. But go ahead, daughter Zion.
Oh, okay. I think I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. I was just kind of in and out of the.
Talking about the reparations before.
Yeah, the reparations. Okay, yeah. And I guess there's going to be something, Juneteenth or 18th. And that's the thing that has to be done at this point. We have to show up. I was saying it in another room the other day that I understand, all the advocation everybody's been doing, but you know what? You got to be in these people's face because they don't they don't want no controversy. They don't want us to be seen, but we're going to have to be seen and heard. We have to just be in their face. I don't know if they're planning on staying up there a few days, but we can't leave. We just tag team each other. I don't know. I'm just saying you got to show up. You got to be in their face. And when I say them, I mean the politicians. I mean Washington. We got to be there because it's the only way. This is the only way reparations happen because they're ignoring us at this point, and we have to do something different. So I'm all for the march because they're going up there. Whatever we got to do, got to have a violent spirit.
Just let me take it off of that real quick. So, sister daughter Zion. So when we had our reparations pull up here in New Jersey in September, right? So Raz Baraka, the mayor of Newark, I saw him and I said, "Hey, Mr. Mayor, how you doing today? Reparations should be lineage based. You should be telling these Latinos and these Hispanics that don't even look like they been here or got any type of generational heritage here, like some Puerto Ricans do. You shouldn't be promising no reparations, knowing Raz, that when we say Freeman, Negro, Black American, that's us. It ain't no other. You know what I mean? So why is you promising these folks reparations? This Mickey Vicky rolled his eyes and threw his shoulder on me. And like I said, in my mind, I'm putting this on record. You ain't got to let you. I wanted to smack him in the back of his bald head, yo.
Hey DJ, can you tell us? Hey DJ, can you tell us, Space, what day you went up there and what day you seen that public official, please?
That was on September the 22nd, yo.
And what day was that?
That was on a Wednesday.
See, DJ went up there and he experienced their business.
Well, actually, hold on. Hold on. Everybody can't get da. Let me back up in the story because you're talking about that was Juneteenth weekend. They had a reparations rally here in North on Juneteenth weekend of this summer. You know what I'm saying? But that's when I saw the mayor. But we had our pull up in September. You know what I'm saying? Which we wound up running into the mayor's brother. You know what I'm saying? Amiri Baraka. And this joker gonna tell us, oh, why you over here at the state, at City Hall protesting against the mayor? We got the most progressive black mayor in the country. Shouldn't you be down at the federal building? Well, hold up, Amiri, reparations is a two-check system, a state and a federal. We just happen to be in the state building. So what argument you got? And then we got into the whole confrontation around the blackness thing. And he was like, well, you see that building behind me, which is across the street from City Hall, it's owned by an African sister. But he was trying to say, well, a black sister owned it. No, she's not black. She's from somewhere in Africa. And she owned the whole property. You know what I'm saying? And don't hire our peoples and got a restaurant. And y'all can look this up. It's called Cornbread, by the way. How ironic, right? Cornbread here in North New Jersey, downtown on Broad Street. They cooking soul food. But ain't no goddamn black Americans cooking the food. You know what I'm saying? It's okay if you own the property in the business. Hire our people to do what it is you're selling. Our shit. That's our shit. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. So that was the situation. And then that Juneteenth reparations rally, it happened Juneteenth weekend, but like it was on a Thursday or something. I'll pull up the flyer and put it in the Jumbotron. But that was Juneteenth weekend. I saw Roz. And then when we had our pull up, just to correct the story, in September, Roz didn't even show the fuck up. And we was outside in front of the building on a Wednesday. So I don't know if he was actually in the area or not, but I'm pretty sure you knew what was going on. Somebody sent word to you like, yo, they having a reparations rally out here. You know what I'm saying? In front of City Hall on a fucking Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Right. That's my point. Imagine we do that in every fucking state, including DC, heavy in DC. On a Wednesday, fuck a Saturday, fuck a Sunday, on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Yeah, we interrupting business. And that's power move shit.
Right. Hey, let Sister Daughter Zion finish her conversation real quick, though.
Oh, thank you. I finished. I was just trying to encourage everyone that can show up. I'm definitely going to do my best because that's what we have to do. We got to show up. That's it. We're going to get it that way. But I believe that's the way. And that's pretty much it. Thanks, God.
Let me see real quick because I see Goddess, she came up here, but I don't know if she wants to speak or she just may just be chilling for right now. So let me see if Goddess, do you want to speak or are you okay?
Yes, I almost lost my train of thought a little bit. I wanted to say something about the Juneteenth. I messaged our Juneteenth board about a week ago, and actually I got a phone call from them tonight because I wanted to tell them that the flag they've been using is the wrong flag. I just want to tell them a little bit of information about what we're doing and everything. And basically, I couldn't get through to this guy. He just started saying our history go back farther than just here, and and the flag represents our history beyond here. And he told me there are some Africans and Jamaicans on board and everything. And it's just, we got a lot of work to do. I was just so annoyed. I'm still annoyed right now. I need some direction. I don't know what else to do.
Goddess, I know you always a supporter of Newstoter, so I just want to thank you for coming in and speaking tonight and just letting us know about that. I'm not sure if this is your first time speaking in the space, but I don't understand how somebody, and not to get derailed, y'all, because I know the conversation was on climate reparations, just another scheme that they devising and stuff, but I don't know how someone can sit up here and say that people that's fighting for reparations are being descendants of slaves in America. First off, the flag. I mean, what are you talking about? It's about everything, and doesn't. We talking about life here in America. Like none of the actual descendants of slaves know what it's like to live any other place in the world. So we're part of the black race, but we're our own ethnic group. So I don't understand people sitting up here and trying to say, well, this goes back for. Well, no, we're talking about the descendants of American slavery. So all this other stuff about 5,000 years ago and 10,000 years ago and 20,000 or whatever, or 1,000 years ago, we talking about the people that's descended of slaves right here and their experiences here in America. So I don't understand. And I don't even know what the issue of people saying that, hey, those colors don't match the actual oppression that we went through. Like that's not the actual flag that we want flown up here because we would know better than anybody.
He didn't care about the original flag at all, and he kept including all the immigrants in with us, saying we're all the same. So
No, we're all not the same. We all our people, every immigrant did not build his country up. So yeah, he's just sitting up here,
right.
And this is somebody you have to actually look out for. We're not taking away anybody's struggle in the rest of this world, what they went through. I'm not taking away anything what some of our people went through in this world or whatnot. They have a right to go ahead and they have a right to talk about their pains and their struggle and their homeland and what their ancestors went through. We're not trying to deprive that. We're not going to go to Jamaica or Haiti and say, you know what, y'all got the wrong flag up. That flag don't represent Black Americans. They'll look at you like he was crazy. So, sister, don't even sweat that. I can hear it in your voice. Don't even let this dude get you down. This dude is full of it. He's just sitting up here, and he'll be the main one sitting up here. They did cut reparation checks, stuff like that. He's going to divvy it up with his people and our people and this and that. Don't even worry about that. Don't even sweat that. We all know it's nonsense. Nobody's even going to listen to no crap like that. We may all be Black people. We all don't have the same shared experience. That's just a simple fact of it. I can't tell anybody how life was in Haiti or what their ancestors went through in there or whatever. They have their own special history, and I wouldn't disrespect it, and I wouldn't look down on it. And the same should be given to Black Americans to sit up here and try to just go ahead and tell us what we should do or what we shouldn't do or what we should accept. And that's this and that. First off, the board, if you're talking about the descendants of Black Americans, well, guess what? The entire board should be Black Americans. There should be anybody other group. It should be all Black Americans. End of story.
I asked him, was he a Black American? He couldn't even give me a straight answer. So
I'm sorry.
I don't even think he's a Black American.
Who are you talking about? Okay, I can't even hear you talking kind of long. Sorry.
I'm talking about. I was talking about our Juneteenth board here. I got a phone call from director.
And what was the situation again surrounding the Juneteenth?
He basically wanted to keep the red, black, and green flag, and basically including all the immigrants.
Okay, I heard you on that, right? Okay, so look, check this out, right? Combat these people at all costs, these Pan-Africanists. The RBG flag is never our flag. You know what I'm saying? It's not even our colors. Those are African colors. Yeah, we understand our little African roots, but if it ain't 1492 to 2022, I don't want to know about it. Pan-Africanism is an American thing. It's not an African thing. And if he didn't want to answer, his heritage is most likely one or two things. One, obviously, get to the point he's a tether, or two, he don't know his own ancestry. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just indoctrinated with the Pan-African babble. So this is why we be combating these Pan-Africanists up here in North New Jersey. This is why I be saying to Sister BW, see how hard it is for us to go get our reparations. It's us that's holding us back. And a lot of these Pan-Africans are Black, Negro, Freedmen, American that descend from chattel slavery. So at the end of the day, when we had the Juneteenth reparations rally over here in Newark in the summertime, you had white folks running around supporting it, running around with the RBG flag. So I'm stepping to these cracking niggas and saying, hey, look, you know that's not our flag, right? And you know they ain't got nothing to do with Juneteenth, ain't got nothing to do with no reparations. Oh, yeah, I just think it represents all Black people. No, it don't. Who said that? Yeah, but, I'm just here in solidarity for the cause. Well, look, sir, here's the real shit, yada-da-da-da. This cracker pulls his phone out and shows me the Juneteenth Texas Galveston flag, yo. He said, yeah, I got a fly on my flagpole at my house. So what the fuck you got the RBG shit on for? And not the actual Galveston one. You know what I'm saying? So These folks know what the hell they doing. They just want us to be confused, and they want to go along with the get along narrative. That's all this shit really is. So at all costs, combat these people. Get in their face and say, hey, look, you a grifting ass fraud, yo. Because that's really what's going on. So again, a lot of them folks that was sponsoring Juneteenth rally that was through the New Jersey Institute of Social Justice, Ryan Cohn P. Haywood, or whatever his name is. Don't be promising these South American jokers or none of these other diasporan jokers no damn reparations. Don't make this shit an Pan-African thing. So flash forward back to September, we had a reparations rally, pull-up rather, in September. When everything was said and done, we going down Broad Street just looking at shit. So we wound up going to go talk to these other Pan-Africans that be on the corner, be at the bookstores, yada, yada, yada. We going back and forth on the same narrative. It got to the point they started calling us, oh, y'all sound like them Hebrew niggas. Damn, didn't we just tell y'all we reparationists? So how you get us confused with what Hebrew is? We ain't say nothing religious or talk about God or we the real children of Israel. We talking about economic money and shit that we're owed. So how all of a sudden you go from, because you're not versing me well, you don't understand the narrative about reparations, so all of a sudden I got to be some type of Hebrew or some type of Christian or something else. You know what I mean? When at the end of the day, it's your own so-called ideology of the Pan-Africanism that's keeping you confused, brother. I'm not a Pan-Africanist, never was, and I don't know anybody in Africa on some real shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can trace your history back all you want and find out that you came from the Congo some fucking where, but what the hell does that even matter? We still waiting on the slaves rescue ship to this day. So we ain't got no quarrel with Africa, but we ain't got no ties with y'all either. And them Africans, they know that. They know that shit, man. And it's not like it's, that big of a deal, but it seems like it's all Black American people trying to force this shit on us because they've been indoctrinated for whatever the reason. But yeah, Sister Goddess, boycott that shit at all costs. But go ahead, yo.
Yeah, real quick, let me go ahead and get to the only male cruise. I see she just stepped in here. She's got her hand up, so let me go ahead and let this sister get in her convo.
Man, what up?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for letting me speak. Yeah, the issue for me, I mean, how I see it is, because I was listening when, there was the talk of violence, and I think it was a professor that pulled up and was like, we ain't saying riots, so, but we might have to do a little bit of everything. You understand what I mean? And I'm thinking that what we should do is something that is like super significant. For example, if we decide as a collective, okay, we're gonna get off T-Mobile and everybody go over to Verizon. And do you know how much? And whichever cell phone company that has the majority of Black people on there, we need to make them feel it. Because if you notice, none of these corporations are saying anything because it's not impacting them. We're up here fighting for reparations, and we're not asking them to weigh in on the measure. We're not we're not pulling them into the conversation. And they're not inviting themselves to the conversation. So what we need to do, these major grocery stores, let's pick one and let the other one just start going down unless they decide to step up and support reparations. Because if we hit them where their dollar should be making a difference, they're at least going to listen. But, so I think that that's one way to make them feel some of our pain, make them feel some of our struggle, where if they start losing that dollar, it's simply because they won't, weigh in and support us. There's no reason for that. And I was reading this article earlier today, which what I'm coming to find out is they have this thing called Campaign to Uplift Race. And that is like a codification. And when I was reading this article, I was like, you know what? This is why in Wisconsin and I think it was Ohio, where the police officers randomly, all of a sudden, these accounts are coming out where these police officers are pulling the brothers over and giving them these cavity checks. If it was in one city, okay, all right, it's, specific to that city. But now we're seeing that it's in multiple cities, which that's letting me know these folks is on a WhatsApp, they on some type of group chat. out, but they've agreed to do this to the black men who they're pulling over. So we need to come back and just look at it from a larger scale. How can we make these people get involved? And one last example, and I'll land my plane. Just like with was Adidas when it was giving Kanye the business. The thing with what we should have done with Adidas was we should have pulled Beyonce and Jay-Z into the fray. We should have been like vocal, like we ain't buying no Ivy Park on purpose. We're not buying no Ivy Park because y'all are not saying shit. And all while this Kyrie situation was going on, Jay-Z was up there with Bezos trying to coordinate another deal. But we're not addressing them, and they're not addressing us. It's like that's y'all problem. Y'all deal with it. Well, no, we're about to make it your problem. Y'all have to speak up and either show us your support, or y'all gonna feel the hurt. I'll land my plane.
All right. Thank you, sister. Appreciate that. I'm not sure who was next. I know we had some hands up. I had stepped away from a minute.
BW right there. BW.
Okay.
And I agree with you 100%, Mel, because I was actually saying something similar in my mind the other day. But we'll talk about that in the background.
Okay, I have been said that we should do a massive boycott. That's what I want to bring to y'all about doing that. Because I tried it before. Here, I live in Michigan. This guy I met on a thing called Meetup. Me and him was gonna do something like that, but we didn't get the support to protest all these businesses because we didn't get the support. People don't want to do it. But I'll continue to preach it to the black community. Some of our people are coming around because I had to sort of like drill it in their head. And because a lot of our people go to these nail shops, these Asian people who don't like us and disrespect us. So I have gotten some black people to go to black nail techs and guide them into going to some black hair braiders. So it's working a little bit, but it's not working enough to put a dent in it because people don't want to really, I don't know what it is. They're so comfortable with buying for other cultures. And when you talk about things like that on a massive scale, they act like they're scared or something.
The white ice is colder, Sister BW. The white ice is colder.
So, I don't know. I'm still talking to people to tell them about stop buying and only invest in black. I continue to do that on a regular basis. And well, the thing with that, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but the thing with that is, if we try to make it just only local, then it becomes an inconvenience to us because that store might be, the only store within miles. So many of our communities are in food deserts. But if we do it on a national level, it might be 500 people out of the state of Michigan, but it could be, 100,000 out of the state of Illinois, 200,000 out of, all these different states, that's where Verizon or Sprint or T-Mobile or whomever, or whatever industry we decide to apply this strategy on, that's how they're going to feel it in their bottom line. It's going to make them wake up and say, well, shit, what do we got to do? Even if we boycott one of Netflix or, Philo or whatever, something that we can do it from the comfort of our home, and just see what type of impact that would have.
So, hey, Sister Mel, one of the major ones that I would love to target, Walmart. Because that's one that black Americans spend a lot of money at. That's for sure. And a lot of black Americans work at Walmart. I would love to target that.
Somebody has a hot mic, so we're going to have to go one at a time. Whoever's speaking, everybody else, make sure your mics are muted because we have a hot mic. We have that echo in the background.
I know what you're saying, but the problem is we got a lot of our people don't have that mindset. They don't think it can be done. boycott is very powerful if you believe it. But we just some of us are just so scared of something. I don't know. Or they're too comfortable to really want change.
Our people are still trying to assimilate, Sister BW. That's where Dr. Martin Luther King said before he got killed, is that I have led my people into a burning house. This whole integration, assimilation is not working, has not worked. It's a failure. And it has killed our people's mindset. It has set our people back for years. And he knew it. He knew it. I'm going to go ahead and say this, y'all. This is going to be controversial because I know we got people in that love Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Hey, I love him. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you something. The black leader that we should have been listening to is the one that got killed before him. That was Dr. Malcolm X. I'm sorry, Brother Malcolm X. That's the one we should have listened to instead of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I agree with you.
Can I just say something to that right quick for the MLK thing? I understand, brother, and I was in a room before where this professor was quoting Dr. King, and I was just telling the room, I'm so tired of them quoting the Dr. King. Leave his quotes out of your mouth, because, in the early days, he was talking peaceful, but the Martin that they killed, he was the one that said, we coming to get our check. After that speech, that's when they killed him. So Martin became radical, but they didn't let him live. So I understand what you're saying, brother, but even Dr. King saw towards the end what needed to be done. And that's what I'm saying for June. We have to go get our check. That's what we have to do. We have to show up.
Amen. I agree with you on that, sister. And we got to start making some noise, y'all. We got to get out there and hit these major corporations, and Walmart is one of them. I would definitely like to target them. And there's let's see what else we got. Target, who's another one. There's let me see, Goodyear. Goodyear's a major one. It's so many, y'all, that we can go after.
General Motors.
Yeah, General Motors, y'all, yes. Ford. I mean, it's so many that we can go after because this country has made a fortune off the backs of our ancestors and us going forward. They have made so much off of Black Americans. And let's just be honest, y'all. Look at the prison system, because they have made what they call it the private prison system, which is another way to make more money off Black Americans. Because who you think they putting up inside those private prisons? Us. See, this is free labor for them to make more money off of us. This is what America has been about, is capitalizing on Black pain, Black struggle. That's right. So therefore, we got to start doing some radical stuff to bring the pain back to them. And the only pain that these caucasoids understand is money and power. They don't like to lose money because y'all, when they lose money, they commit suicide. I mean, really, they do. These motherfuckers, when they lose money, like, think about that, them folks that got caught up with that whole Bernie Madoff shit. Man, look how many folks committed suicide. Hell, they were jumping out the damn windows and shit. Hell, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about, man? These folks, man, they can't take this stuff the way we take it, man. We've been dealing with that kind of shit for years. We've been down at the bottom. But see, when they hit that bottom, they ready to jump off the bridges. So we got to
But see, the other thing, when we talk about boycott, here's the thing. Because, look, we tight. Okay? We are tight. And since if you run up on somebody, you say, hey, you know what? We're about to boycott. Well, I don't know yet. See, then that is, in my book, that's the end of the conversation. I'm not about to spend 5 more minutes trying to make someone understand the concept of boycott, and especially when we're talking about the purpose of it. If we're saying, look, we're trying to organize this boycott so that we can make these people feel the same damn thing we're feeling, and they need an explanation, then girl, let's just kick the dust off the bottom of your feet and move on to the next one, because that's a distraction, and that's gonna hold you up from talking to 5 or 6 more individuals. But I like, Professor, I do like your idea of Walmart. And the thing is, we need to be vocal about it and say, look, we about to pit y'all against each other. Whoever steps up and starts supporting reparations, that's where our money's going to go. And if neither one of them, then we'll find another one, or we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And another thing, when I was telling you about that article I was reading today, they are also, what we're not understanding or talking, I should say, talking about is like, you've got your psychologist associations, your sociologist associations. These people are not lending their voice either. What I'm finding is they're doing all these studies, just like with the CRT, and I was going to do a space on it. We've got these sociologists who are studying CRT. They've got the results of their research that they've conducted, and they're using that to apply in our society, in our normal, everyday society. But if we don't know it because it's not being, advertised or anything like this. Well, we know they're saying, well, the disadvantages and the problems that is having on neighborhoods, families, and this and that, 2/3. Well, why the hell are y'all not speaking up? So we need to be targeting their asses too. So if we ain't asked them, so maybe that's why they're not coming in on the conversation. But we need to really start holding other people accountable and drag their asses into this conversation.
Real talk, y'all. We're gonna get ready to close the space out. We've been going for close to 3 hours, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let any of the speakers that want to get a final say in here go ahead and say something, 2 minutes or less, and then we'll have the co-host go ahead and close. Say something to close it out. I'll go ahead and close it out officially. So if any of my speakers want to say anything real quick, go ahead and raise your hand. We'll go ahead and let you guys go in for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and get it to the co-host.
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
I'm just gonna say, fam, this is something that we all are all about. We agree on this, that reparation is where we at. This is what we want, and we know we're gonna have to fight for it. One of the things that we all can do is unify for this reparations movement that's about to take place in June, on Juneteenth. And I hope to see the majority of you there. I know some people maybe cannot make it, but I hope to see the family there. And I have really enjoyed being able to get to know a lot of you on these spaces, because I have learned a lot through a lot of you. And it's great to meet some of my people that think the same way I do. That is, hey man, we trying to go out here and make some things happen. And that's what I love about all of y'all up in here. So I land my plane there.
Appreciate that, Professor, as always. Let's go ahead and let Brother McCool go ahead and get it in.
Just want to say to the space, thank you to all my brothers, Ray, News, Ray, DJ, yeah, everybody. No taxation. I'm gonna definitely be down there on DC, but even before then, yeah, I mean, look, let's concentrate on disturbing white supremacist business. Yeah, I mean, we disturb the business, and we'll get more than progress. I promise. I'm telling you. Just like the sister just made that point. They killed Martin when he talked about getting a check. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even let him come down. Imagine if we just go full force, no warning, coming to get our check. I'll land there.
All right, Brother McCool, as always, I appreciate you, brother. As always, definitely a great supporter of the Newstoter platform. As always, Brother McCool always comes to the spaces when he can make it. I know the brother has a couple of jobs, businesses and stuff, but he tries to catch the recording, and he definitely always supports the platform, always tweeting out information, always liking it and everything else and sharing it. So as always, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, as well as your contributions you make to Newstoter. Thank you so much. Definitely couldn't do it without people like you guys. So let me go ahead and kick it over to the co-hosts, Ray and DJ.
start a space, come on over there, y'all. You know, continue on the conversation because I think I definitely got some ideas I'd like to express on how we can start getting people to understand our narrative surrounding reparations stuff. Good night. For those that ain't coming to the next space though, I'm about to start it right now too.
That's a late night space right there. Oh, I had to mute it because I heard a feedback. So yeah, that's that late night space that DJ have going on, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and catch it and come over there if you can. If you can't stay for a while, just come for a little bit and support the space and whatnot. Tweet it out as always. And let me just say thank you to everybody once again for supporting the space, supporting the platform, supporting the content. If you guys have not been to newstoter.com, I need y'all to go there every day. Everybody in the space, go there every day, surf the space. That's how you support Black business right there. You don't even have to financially support it. Just go to the actual space and just support the actual space. We need that support. We need that help. So go ahead. Thank you for everybody who did subscribe to the YouTube channel tonight. If you guys haven't, you go to YouTube and make sure you subscribe to the Newstoter channel. We put all the spaces, most of the spaces on the actual YouTube. So in case you guys have missed some, you can always go there and catch it or whatever. Got over like 100 and some videos on there, so make sure you go ahead and catch them. Definitely, we try to keep it up to date with the information and the content that's going on in Black America today. So you can always support Newstoter by visiting the site every day, newstoter.com. Go there for a minute. We tweet out about 25, 30 articles a day. Go ahead and just click one of the articles and go to the site, and then you can come back to Twitter. That's all you got to do. So just something like that. That helps. I mean, trust me, y'all. That helps a great deal. Let me give a shout out to Vovo too. Vovo just sent a cash out. Vovo, thank you once again. Vovo, you come through as always. You're always welcome. So thank you, Vovo, for your contribution on Cash App. If you guys want to support on Cash App, it's $ Newstoter. By supporting Newstoter, you're supporting the largest Black-owned, Black American-owned news curation platform today in America. So, guys, go ahead and make sure you check out DJ Space. I'm gonna come through as well too for a little bit. So I'll see you guys there, and thank you guys for coming in and talking about Joe Biden and trying to pay climate reparations to foreign nations. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace to everybody.
Peace, everybody. Hey, matter of fact, yeah, check the tweets and put the space up already. Go ahead, though.